What it do, Moody? How's it
What's
going, man?
up? It's going well. Could be better if it wasn't for my Percy. That my favorite show. It's not off the air, but we did get good news. Also, we got a season 5 coming. But
Final
yeah,
season
that
coming
that
up.
finale, that finale is fucking bro. Like there was a point in season 3, the season 3 finale. I thought we jumped the shark. You know, you have shows like Breaking Bad, right, where death is actually on the table.
Hmm.
And Game of Thrones changed the game with that because it's like even main characters is getting clipped. So now
Yeah.
you got to think of it like that, or in Succession, right? Like your death is like getting fired. You know,
Hmm.
that's kind of the equivalent of this. And like, man, the journey that this dude Henry Muck, aka you would know as Jon
Jon
Snow,
Snow. Yeah.
yeah, has been on, and his arc and what he helps assist in season 4 is fucking insane. And
In a good
going
way or
into
a bad
season
way?
5 in a good way. I mean,
Because
like
you
his
said jump the shark,
performance.
so I was like, oh, that's a little concerning. Like when
Well,
you were like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, because it takes you out of like, oh, I thought this show was one thing, and then it takes
mm,
you, somewhere else. But it didn't. They're good at like this. They're a writing duo. The guys that created the creator writers of the show are a writing duo that actually were in like finances or something like that. But anyway, in a good way.
okay,
It just really the one thing that I think is left is like the main character Harper I told you about. We got to get some type of inner self-reflection because we're 4 seasons in, and I know I've described her to you before. She's a world killer. She's like
hmm,
the fucking beast out of everybody. But we barely still know anything about her. And then I'm glad in that finale we got a little illusion of that where it's like, yo, what if Harper had a gooey inside?
mm,
So I don't think we can let season 5 pass without getting into Harper's, inner machinations. What does her heart feel, not just her head? So
yeah,
that's my little. I'm upset that I'm gonna have to wait another year and a half at least, but I'll be happy. I've been raving about this shit since I've been watching it, and
yeah,
this is a. I'm willing to say this is my Breaking Bad. As much as you kept on talking to me,
hmm,
you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. And I'm a season and a half in. And yeah, like I said, it's definitely, I feel extremely comfortable saying it's on par with The Wire. It's exactly the same. It's almost like, even as far as like the arcs go, like what is most interesting, you would say, like as the
hmm,
seasons progress, I would say that the progression of industry is a little bit less feasible because we're not like rich as fuck operating around tens and hundreds and billions of dollars. That's why The Wire might get a little bit extra credit for being more grounded for the normal person. But hey, I don't care about that. The storytelling's amazing, and that's my Percy. I'm
yeah. I
sad,
mean,
but
I've heard on like the watch. Obviously, I've heard you tell me about it, and I've started it when you first told me about it, and I like got like through like a season and like a first couple episodes of like the second season probably. And then yeah, the watch, they talk about it a lot and they really love it and they're just as much as you. I think for me, now that they announced that season 5 it's going to be its last season, I think I'm gonna try to catch up
mhm.
before season 5 starts. So I got at
Yeah,
least a year before to jam through at least like what 40 episodes, 50
no, not
episodes.
even. It's shorter than Breaking Bad because all the seasons are 8 episodes, so you got
Okay,
32,
32.
32 hour
Okay.
long. Yep, it's easy,
Yeah,
easy,
I
bro.
I could jam through that within the year. So
Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
actually
that's
is
gonna be
shorter
my
than The
goal because I
Wire
want to.
too.
That's the kind that's what I did with Breaking Bad. I think because like Breaking Bad, I didn't catch up into it until like
The
they
end.
split the last season into like two halves, and so I was able to catch up on Netflix through like before the final half of the second season came out, the last season came out. So I think like from everything that I've been heard and even hearing you and watching a couple episodes, of this recent season, I'm like, okay, like I can be engaged in with it. I can be engaged in this. Like I said, I think for me when I started first watching it back then, I
I
was more
remember.
intrigued by the business aspects of it and like
Yeah, I
the
was about to say. You said I
relationship.
don't care about these relationships. I was like,
Yeah, the
bro, you got
relationships
to
I don't
care
really
about the
care about.
relationships. You have to. You have to care about it because if you don't care about the relationships, then by the time you get to the end, you're like, we not doing the same business anymore. You know what I'm saying? Without ruining anything. We're not in the same ballpark no more in season 4. So season 5, I can only imagine where it's going.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. I guess 2 things I want to call out, I guess, for my Percy's. One, because we were talking about TV shows. Did you hear and it was rumored, but I think it's been officially confirmed that season 5 of The Bear is supposed to be its final season. So
yeah. I didn't hear about The Bear. I thought you were gonna go with what is it? Green Lantern, the Green Lantern trailer. Or Lanterns. Lanterns, yeah.
I saw that trailer. I was like, I'm not a big DC fan, but I'm like, this looks boring.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when you said, I was like, yeah, that was gonna be my other Percy. Maybe that's it. But yeah, I was like, I mean, you don't want to ruin anything and tell us who the bad guy is.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, they really out here on some like Landman shit. Have you seen Landman?
No, but I've seen
with Billy Baltimore. That shit is boring, bro. That shit is boring as fuck. Like,
I hear the Watch talk about it all the time. I'm like, I'm not trying to watch this, bro.
Watch season 1, and I'm like, okay, I feel you. But like, as I watch it, like when I heard them, Andy talk about it on the Watch, they were like, they got to the end of season 2, and they were like, oh, now the show started because the first 2 seasons are like prequel. I was like, what? That's some BS. But sorry, what else was your other one?
Yeah, my official Percy, and this is kind of like a light back from the movies, and it kind of ties into wrestling. I watched this movie called The Bride this week, and have you
seen the trailers for that?
The actress in there, her name is Jessie Buckley. She is in Hamnet. She's the main actress in Hamnet, which is nominated for Best Picture, and she's basically been running a sweep in the award circuit this year for Best Actress, so she's probably going to win Best Actress next week as well. But she plays the bride in the movie as well. In this movie as well, the movie it's whatever. It's gotten a lot of mixed reviews. People are really low on it. I haven't seen anybody too high on it. I gave it a 2.5 because I'm like, all right, it's like if you got nothing to watch and it's on streaming, fine. Like, go ahead, throw it on. You might find some entertainment out of it. The reason I bring this as a Percy is that if we have ever a timeless Tony Storm biopic, she needs to be cast as Tony Storm, because in the movie, she kind of has like this split personality between like her original self and then like Mary Shelley, the original writer of Frankenstein. She kind of takes over her body at certain points and shows she's going between like an English accent and like her Chicago accent in the movie. And every time she like flips into like her English accent, and she has like short blonde hair and everything. It's almost like uncanny how much she could pull off a Tony Storm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wrote in my little like letterbox review, I'm like, yo, just book her. At some point in her career, she needs to play timeless Tony Storm. The way we put like Omar Epps as like he needs to play Mike Tomlin in a biopic. That's exactly what Jessie Buckley needs to do, because I'm like, she was actually like one of the best parts of the movie. Like, even though again some of it was like a little over the top, it kind of worked for me a little bit. But she was great. She was great in Hamnet, and that's a totally completely different movie. But in this, whenever she did that kind of like bipolarness, I want to say bipolarness, but I guess it was because she's kind of flipping between 2 personalities. And she turned on her English accent, which was much more overzealous and like over the top. It was almost, I was like, yo, this is Tony Storm here. And there's several people that like, whether on Letterboxd or like people that have called out on the internet, I'm like, yo, this is a timeless Tony Storm, like, reimagining, or, just kind of, example of how this is played off. So not the best movie in the world, but it did get me to be like, yo, Jessie Buckley, who's definitely going to win Best Actress next week, definitely needs to play timeless Tony Storm at some point. And I don't know if it's like a biopic of timeless Tony. I don't know if it's a biopic of Tony Storm, or if you made like a faux, biopic of timeless Tony Storm. That was interesting.
That was closer to what I thought, because we were already getting the vignettes of her, like the making of a movie star and stuff like that when she first became timeless. If you just brought Jessie Buckley into that, and then Tony's giving her direction to play her, I would love those scenes,
That'd be interesting. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way.
Just bring her to AEW, dude. Like, that's more realistic.
Yeah. That'd be funny. That'd be funny. I don't know if that's her bag, but get a wider audience. Get a wider audience. But no, yeah, that was it. Decent enough. Yeah, we got a lot to get through. And we got another predictions show to get on to get to. So let's start this show.
Doors opening. Step back to allow customers to exit.
Cutting through the crowd, it's the Hollister Hayes, Samson. You're my tag team partner. On mute.
Been off the top rope, and this is the Wrestling Re-Up Podcast.
A weekly stroll through the avenue of wrestling.
Follow us here on this YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the social engagement things, and send us an email at thewrestlingreup@gmail.com.
Episode 87 of the Wrestling Re-Up Podcast. 87 off the top of my head. Isn't that Travis Kelce?
Gronk. Yep.
Gronk. I'd rather not those two guys be the leading numbers. We got to find a black.
I mean, but they kind of are, though. I mean, Kevin Garnett in high school.
Okay. Yeah,
Kevin Garnett in high school.
Is there a basketball player with 87? Like, you don't get that. I know, like,
yeah, check Basketball Reference.
I was like, I know, like, Dennis Rodman was like 99, something like that, or like 90, something like that. But
yeah, Reggie Wayne too.
Yeah, Reggie Wayne for sure. He's already a
there. You
Hall
go.
of Famer, so
yeah,
Reggie Wayne. Shout out to him, and he's from the U, so shout out to all that. Yeah, episode 87 of the Wrestling Re-Up Podcast. We are 13 episodes away from episode 100. Big milestone. 13 weeks. God damn, that feels so close when we talk about it in next episodes, but like when you think about it, like, oh, that's 13 weeks. Like
3 months.
Did the math. Yeah, you did the math a few weeks ago. I was like, oh yeah, we're not gonna get there until like June or July. And I'm like, yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
We got a lot to get through. We've been on the road to WrestleMania, but now there are no detours, no stops along the way until WrestleMania after we just finished, excuse me, WWE Elimination Chamber. Let's get into that recap. We fought hard for this draw, I feel like.
And a faithful draw.
Yeah, this is a clean draw.
Because you had Randy as second, right? For you? You picked Logan. But we both had Randy as second, and I just couldn't wrap my mind around it.
I probably had Randy as third because I still probably would have picked Cody.
Yeah. I was just like, I can't not see this. But yeah, then of course we end up fast forward to Friday. We'll talk about later on. It makes sense. But
we
both picked Tiffany to win the chamber.
We were terribly wrong on here. So officially, we're both 1-3. Only one we got right was CM Punk getting the win over Finn Balor, which is probably the most obvious. Like I said, we both picked Tiffany to win the Elimination Chamber. She got close. She was one of the final contenders with Rhea Ripley, who was on that match that took out a lot of people. Kiana James took out.
Kiana James,
took out Alexa Bliss. I'm blanking on who else was in that match right now.
Lash wasn't in that match, was she? No. Let me bring up this Bleacher Report. What am I tripping?
Was in that match. She was great. Asuka and Kiana and Tiffany, Rhea, and Alexa Bliss. Again, this is where we should have used our Cody poll.
What do you mean?
The way we treat Cody and be like, yeah, it's Cody Rhodes, like he's not gonna lose. It's kind of the same thing with Rhea, where it's like,
oh yeah. It
made I think we thought about it. We were like, yeah, Tiffany's on SmackDown, Rhea's on Raw, so we're trying to find a contender for Jade, and we've done the Tiffany and Jade back and forth, but they're on the same show, and Tiffany's coming back. I'm not faulting the logic in it, but again, when you got someone like Rhea, it's hard to like bet against that. And so I feel like I don't think we were wrong in picking Tiffany, but I think now we got to be at that point. We've been saying it for the last few weeks. It's just like whenever Rhea's in a match, it's hard to ever see her lose because she's just on S tier face of the company list. She's switching shows now, and now we got Jade and Rhea Ripley set for WrestleMania. And I guess that's a main event, especially if you want to have one of your S tier performers at the, you know, main event card of WrestleMania. I think that's a better look than Tiffany and Jade. If we were looking at a WrestleMania card, then Rhea and Jade is better than Tiffany and Jade as far as like on paper looking at a WrestleMania card for a general audience.
Yeah, not just that, but I mean, as I mentioned multiple times before, the first two women we saw after Mania last year was Tiffany and Jade. So we spent this whole year building both of them up. And when Jade finally beat Tiffany, not that her title reign hasn't been that long, but immediately my thought of like, even when we both picked Tiffany, I was still sitting there thinking, I'm like, do I want to run this back already at Mania?
Right.
Like, that was really the only thing holding me back from not wanting to pick Tiffany. But my thought is, does Rhea still switch shows if she loses?
That's a good question. I guess if she wants to continue her feud with Jade and like actually win that title, I guess so. But I mean, I guess at that point, like she would have a choice. That's how I would have taken. I'm like, if you want to keep fighting, go ahead. But I guess you can go back to Raw if you're done with this.
I don't think you would though, because I mean, in kayfabe, she is on a different show completely. So if you earned your shot, which you know, this is a all brands, you know, pay-per-view with Elimination Chamber, you got both Raw and SmackDown representatives in there. That I think you would just go back to like, yo, you got your shot, you earned your shot at WrestleMania. Just because you win the Royal Rumble and go to Mania, you can still lose. You know what I'm saying? So I think you would just revert back. But it was just a thought that I had.
Yeah, but
when you said that she's on SmackDown now.
Through the week, we'll get to the point. Well, I'll try to emphasize the point that sometimes, you know, it's wrestling and it's WWE. You just do what you do. Like things don't matter. Like they just make it up on the fly. But yeah, we got Rhea Ripley versus Jade, and they're already building up that feud. And you can take it how you want it. Some people are saying it's a real beef between Jade and a lot of the women in the locker room, and how she's rubbing off, but they had some social back and forths that we'll get into when we get into Raw and SmackDown. Again, another given. We should have known this one, but AJ Lee getting the win over Becky Lynch.
I think that's a given. That could have gone to Mania, honestly. I could have seen AJ.
We said that. It is a Mania matchup. Maybe they might run him back, but I think
that's not a given though.
Last week, I said last week, AJ mentioned this is her first singles match in like 10 years. It's in her quote unquote hometown in Chicago. It makes sense for her to win. I'm not even mad that she won. I think, you know, it makes sense and everything. Yeah, I guess that's just me just like, we shouldn't have just bet against the obvious. I think that's where we're like, congratulations, you played yourself. I think this is a more you played yourself.
I disagree with you. I disagree. I don't think we played ourselves at all. I just think it was like you said, Becky has been her arguably, you know, her best character work she's been doing in her career and stuff like that. So, and really elevating that title. So, hey, I ain't mad at it.
I'm not mad at it either. I'm not mad at it either.
But,
I know, you know.
I mean, us both losing a point, I'm not mad at. That's what I mean. I was like, hey, she's been too hot. So I would have put it at Mania, but it makes sense. Chicago, whatever. Yeah. The most obvious one, like you said, definitely we got CM Punk and Finn Balor, right? Balor's never going to win the title again. We might as well just call that. We do this at least like, wait, we've done this, what, how many years? At least like 3 or 4 years where we'll go through a season of seriously building up Finn as a contender to if it's Seth or Brock or whoever the hell
Roman.
It is. Yeah. Roman, he just gets smashed. It doesn't matter. It's just like, I think because, well, WWE obviously understands he's one of the crowd favorites, or like, we got a 10-year gap of him being a title holder, and we're always going to be pulling for him to do that. So it's like any juice they can squeeze out of it, I'm like, at this point, you're going to have to show me for me to believe it.
Who has a better chance of winning a title, Sammy or Finn?
Sammy.
Because I feel like they both hit like that. I guess like you could say they both hit a glass ceiling, especially like at where they're at in their careers and their age and whatnot. It's like you got younger talent coming up. It's like I would say probably Sammy because just at least there's like a long-term storyline that you can kind of
Exactly.
say that like he finally pulled it off. Can Finn win a Money in the Bank? Can
I'd like
he
that.
win a Royal Rumble?
He can win a Money in the Bank. I don't know
Money in
about
the
a Royal
Bank
Rumble.
for sure. Royal Rumble, I don't know, but again,
Yeah.
you never know. You never know. I'm just like it would suck if that's the only time he ever won a heavyweight title is the inaugural what was it called?
Universal title. The
Universal title, and then having to drop it the next night because of a legit shoulder injury. Like he can't get it one more time for even 3 months.
Guess not.
That's
I was like, you're gonna have to show me.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Yeah, I hope not, man. That'd be unfair.
Yeah, for sure. But
And this was a clean match. There was no
it's funny
or anything either, too.
Watch Finn be not Damian Priest. Be what was his name? End of Days. He would do End of Days. It was his finisher. Baron Corbin.
Yeah,
he'll be the next Baron Corbin and Damian Mizdow to actually win the Money in the Bank and then lose on a cash in. Watch. This will be tragic, bro.
I hope, man. I hope not.
They can't give him the Money in the Bank and then not give him the title. That's a slap in the face to the fans, I feel like. Come on now.
That would be so disappointing.
Unless that's a long-term storybook telling and you're going to give it to him at Mania or something like that, or SummerSlam. That's the only way.
If he wins the Money in the Bank, he needs to cash that in at Mania, in like Seth Rollins fashion, where it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, right.
But that's what I'm going to be. I'm not going to actually predict that, but that's what I hope for, is that Finn Balor wins Money in the Bank and eventually successfully cashes it in. Hope possibly at Mania, and actually at any point. I don't really care when he cashes it in, but give that man the title for at least 3 months. What are we doing here? Like, it's been way too long. He's been a workhorse, and you can't just let that man hold the title for one day like that.
Yeah.
Other things on the card, we got the box reveal.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of predictions, but I think, again, the obvious one, especially once, we got closer to the reveal date, Danhausen is officially WWE. And
I like that little performance, honestly. Like with the little vampire girls came out, it immediately reminded me of Scott Pilgrim versus the World. And it's like me and my hot goth chicks. Like the hot goth chicks came out and started dancing and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, that's immediately what I thought of.
Yeah. I think no fault of his own, and this is more of just WWE. He didn't get a warm reception, and apparently he's from Chicago, and so
is he?
I don't think that's his fault. I think that's just more of like, whenever you got a situation like this, when you got this box, I think because you looked it up last week, I think he said like from like Detroit, but they were saying that like maybe he grew up in Chicago or something like that. I don't know, but either way,
born in Detroit. Yep.
Yeah, either way, that's no fault of his own. I think it's just when you have a situation like a mystery box that you've been teasing for however long, it's never gonna reach that anticipation of like validating the payoff.
Unless we heard Break the Walls Down, that would have validated it. But like I said, they're not going to bring him back.
You're not going to put Jericho in a box like that. So.
yeah, right.
I'm glad in the 24 hours from Elimination Chamber to Monday Night Raw, the internet wrestling community quickly changed their opinion on Danhausen.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get to that when we talk about Raw. But again, not his fault. I think people were just like, again, whenever you have these kind of mystery box situations, it's just very hard to actually feel like the payoff was satisfying in it. So shout out to Danhausen. He's had a good week so far, as far as his first week on WWE roster. And then finally, we get the men's Elimination Chamber match. Would you say we played ourselves in this one? No, I wouldn't say that.
I would say I did because I really wanted to pick Randy. But like I said, I was like, I only pick Cody because he's Cody. Like, but as far as storyline, I was like, even with it now gonna be Cody Drew or no, Cody Randy. Yeah, even still, Drew Randy made sense to me. So I was like, that was really, I wouldn't say trust in my heart, but that's what my heart wanted to book. But I was like, nah, Cody's Cody, dog.
I would
It's
say
as simple as that.
myself overthinking picking Logan because, like I said, I agree with you. Even last week, I said it's either Randy or Cody, and if I had to pick one, I'm gonna go with the S tier. But I mean, Randy's S tier too as well, but Cody is right now the face of the company. That's like Rhea, it's hard to pick against Cody the same way it's hard to pick against Rhea in a match. Now there was shenanigans involved, interference, Drew, hitting Cody with the belt and whatnot. Yeah, but again, Randy is still S tier. He's one of the most popular people in WWE history. One of the most over finishers probably since the Stunner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Tombstone. I mean,
yeah, but people ain't doing the tombstones like people are doing.
Well, sure. I mean, you talk about practicality of it. Like we're not wrestlers.
I'm talking about regular fans, just like social media. Like Randy's
that's something else.
Social media.
Yeah, on social media, yeah, for sure. Because all you got to do is jump and grab somebody's head. That's all you got to do. So.
You were doing it into the pools and stuff like that. Like, but yeah, I mean, you couldn't go wrong with either one of these. I honestly thought, like I said, the reason I picked Logan is like I thought Randy and Cody could have just been a Mania match by himself without any titles. But again, Randy's only got so many years more left, probably. I mean, he says he could probably go for another 10, but again, I guess he can always be a true title contender, but right now he's at what, 14?
14, yeah.
He's got to get to at least 7. He's got to tie John, right?
I don't know about tie, but like I said, 15 is a nice number already. So if this was the last one, it wouldn't surprise me. But I mean, it's not like I'm rooting against him. I don't think he's tying him though.
You think Charlotte ties him? Or does just Charlotte just
tough? I mean, tough. She's at 13, I think. Or no, her and Randy are both at 14. So I would go with more Charlotte than Randy at this point. It depends. It really depends on how long Charlotte would just want to stay active. If she's going to wrestle until like 42 or whatever. I don't know. How old is Charlotte? I'll look that up.
She is probably like 42, I want to say.
She can't be that old already, is she?
I hope I'm not overaging Charlotte.
Charlotte Flair is 39. Okay. Yeah, she's 40. She about to, she's born on WrestleMania, April 5th, or WrestleMania weekend, effectively.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's gonna be 40 this year.
WrestleMania weekend, because WrestleMania is like the 19th, 20. But yeah,
it'll still be the first week of April to me. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, Charlotte's probably got 3 more titles in her.
Sure. Like I said, I mean, I believe that more so than Randy.
Sure. But and we also got the return of my guy Seth Rollins. He came in as the masked man, and he hit the curb stomp on Logan Paul
when there was 3 left, and then Cody pins Logan, and then Cody gets RKO'd as very quick succession.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff going on here. But yeah, and then right afterwards, in the post show, we get Nick Aldis being super tight at Drew McIntyre for interfering in this match. Announcing that on SmackDown yesterday, and as you already kind of mentioned, and as the title kind of of this episode already calls out, we had Drew versus Cody for the WWE title. That we'll get into a little bit more, but I was put off by that.
You were put off by what? Excuse me?
Nick Aldis immediately giving Cody a title shot right after.
Yeah.
Like, what is the point?
Yeah.
What is the point?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is where you got to be like.
That's kayfabe Reggie. That's Reggie shit right there for real. I didn't watch the post show, but
neither did I. But I saw
yeah.
I saw it posted on like the internet, like on socials afterwards, and it was like, what is the point? Like he didn't even need it. I guess I mean, you could say yeah, he got screwed during the match, but I'm like, that's just like giving the golden boy all the opportunities, man.
Absolutely.
Like how many? Like if that was anybody else, would they get that opportunity? Be like, oh, you got cheated out in this match. So what if that Logan Paul then has a case?
The only person I would say probably because it's storyline would be Jacob Fatu if he was in the chamber, but he wasn't. If he was in the chamber, then it's like, okay, you can get a title shot because he's been doing nothing but screwing you over. And we've been doing this little dance in the last like 2-3 months of like since Jacob has come back of Cody, Jacob, and Drew. So he'd be the only other person I would say. But even still, that would be a jump for him because he hasn't even, held the title yet,
WWE doesn't have, I don't think, the courage to go this route, but this is like they do a lot of stuff where it's like this is heel stuff.
Yeah.
This is heel stuff. The fact that Cody gets like this is where again, like people like Drew or Sammy have like legitimate complaints when it comes to like Cody and like the opportunities that he gets. Because I'm like, bro, like you literally like Logan Paul got screwed. Why is he not getting a title shot?
Because that wouldn't be for the title on his show. That's the only thing I can think of.
They were fighting for Drew's championship. Like they're fighting to challenge Drew.
I know. I'm saying because that's not the
Punk already has a title shot.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If he could have forced his way into a 3-way. But either way, you played yourself picking Logan. That's outrageous. Thinking Logan's gonna get the shot.
Yeah.
So
I did not expect the masked man to come in and cause interference, and then again at that, it was Seth Rollins. So I don't even know how to feel about that. I'm like, I don't even know what's happening with injuries nowadays. I'm like, I'm glad Seth is back, but I'm like, I'm assuming he was legitimately hurt. But again, this is what happens when you start playing with karma, right? It's like we don't know what's real anymore.
Hey, we're in the unreal era now, right? That's what people are calling it. So
stupid. Anything else you want to talk about from Chamber?
No, that is it. You covered Seth coming back. I was making sure we didn't glance over that point. Yeah, for sure.
Pretty mid show. Came in mid and ended mid. Let's get into the flagship Monday Night Raw. What were you higher on between our two primos?
For me, honestly, it's a 2-for-1 because it's you immediately pay off the Danhausen curse and we get a new IC champion. So I was like, yeah, Penta's gonna be the next IC champion. He was my pick. So that came to fruition, and we got the whole this goes into my mids, but like him talking to Adam Pearce about his Demandhausens. Because I've only seen Danhausen on AEW, and just the fact that he adds Hausen to the end of things, I think it's funny. But he gave him a fair warning, like, hey, you know what? You're cursed. Like I tried to be nice to you, and hey, it paid off. So, and the match was great too. So I enjoyed it.
I agree. I have Penta and Dom as a new IC champ. As a primo as well, including again the 24-hour span where like people were like down on the Danhausen debut at Elimination Chamber to like the next night on Raw, people were like, "Yo, that promo backstage with Judgment Day was great," and then him cursing Dominic and then immediately paying off that curse. It was like, yeah, this is how you. That's a great way to like introduce his character, and he was entertaining on the promo. Like he was very entertaining in the promo.
His list of Demandhausen, since it was my mid, he said he needed a personal assistant, a Hall of Fame induction this year, and a blimp with his face on the side of it. That was his list of demands to Adam Pearce. I guess he's still figuring out what show he's going to be on. Maybe one of those general managers is going to give him his list of demands.
Yeah, because he was on SmackDown, and we did have some some interesting setup with him as well, as we'll get to on that as well. But yeah, shout out to Penta, well deserved, and I'm glad that like finally he got some gold. He's been on the show for a year. He's fought for this title at least twice, I want to say. So finally able to jump over that hurdle. Hopefully he holds it for a long time, and again, it's gonna be nice to actually see this title be defended.
Yeah,
I hope we don't do like an open challenge, because I feel like we're a little too open challenge heavy on some of these shows, whether it be the United States title. AJ Lee is kind of doing it with the women's Intercontinental title. Moxley is doing it kind of with the Continental title. So
yeah. I guess you're saying across all of wrestling, not WWE, but throwing Moxley in there.
Like I get the open challenge, and like we do great matches out of them, but I'm like, I'd rather have some story build with some of these characters that feel like they should have legitimate chances at winning this. But yeah, it's going to be good to actually see the Intercontinental title be defended on a regular basis, and not to say like Dom's not a great entertaining wrestler. But again, with his character, it's just like, yeah, we get how most of these matches are going to go play out. So it's nice that we're actually going to get like, I feel like there's going to be more chances of hitting primos with Penta as Intercontinental Champion than there is going to be with Dom.
Yeah.
Just by character of Dom, not skill set of Dom, but just by character of Dom holding that title. Other primo, Punk and Roman have a really good promo. To build up to the WrestleMania. Punk takes a shot saying that he's going to bury Roman next to his father, which Nia Jax took some personal offense to as well on his socials. Roman talking about how he's going to retire Punk and send him back to NXT to develop the young talent so that he can bring them up and demolish them. And so, nice, really good back and forth. I feel like this is the most WrestleMania match of all of the cards so far.
I think that was
definitely like easily the Sunday night, the Sunday night main event.
Yeah, and I'd say, Roman won this promo battle in my mind, like saying, cause it's funny, like I believe almost similar to like what they said on Masked Man, where it's like almost this is actually Triple H coming out of Roman's mouth, because when CM Punk first came back, I remember you saying you were like, I don't need him to win the title, like I don't need this, like, and we were talking about him going to NXT because he is a legend like that, or like being the new Shawn Michaels and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good spot for him for sure. So the fact that we hear that out loud coming out of Roman, I'm like, hey, that probably is the next, move once he like retires with WWE. He'll just be new Shawn. And the bar also about him saying that we only brought you back so the 30 to 40-year-old virgins could have their boy back. And we can sell some merch and shit. And I'm like, oh yeah, he won that battle for sure. Because burying somebody next to the father, it's like, all right, cool, his dad's dead. Thanks, Christian. Which I miss Christian. Where's the patriarchy, dog? Like, come
on. It'd be interesting to see if Punk ends up losing at Mania. Does he have to does he get sent down to NXT to kind of have to work his way up?
Oh no! Oh, you're doing too much now. Like that's just a storyline continuing. He's gonna stay on Raw. No. I'm saying you got to continue the storyline. He's still gonna be on the main show. You're not sending him to NXT after Mania. That's insane.
He could be on both shows. He could be on.
No, he can't. No, he can't. No, he can't. But our mids.
I think.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I think it would just be interesting to see that it played out and. Trying to get back to that spot. Yeah. No. Okay, I said I'm going to send you back to NXT. Now go back to NXT. Leave.
Now that's something in kayfabe. If we had stipulation to it. Now that's funny. It's like if Roman wins, CM Punk goes to NXT. We just got that bumper. That's funny as shit. And I would definitely be picking Roman. I'd be like, oh, that's crazy.
Mids. We agreed on two of them. The star of the show, Paul Heyman is out there cutting a promo. Then a bunch of masked men come out. Seth Rollins.
Because we got to get them each masked man distracting each one of the Vision. And then you got a whole bunch of refs like pulling the mask off and stuff, which obviously we don't recognize nobody, but they kept saying that they were from Seth Rollins' Black and Bold Wrestling Academy out in Iowa. And I'm like, yo, that's a long fucking trip. Well, again, I guess if Seth wants his revenge, he's like, hey, bring y'all asses. I'll pay for your flights. You know what I'm saying? We're about to jump these guys.
But yeah, and then, you get the typical person in the ring looking down the aisle, anticipating somebody to come. But what happens? Somebody from behind comes out from behind, takes off his mask. Who is it? Seth Rollins hits Paul Heyman with a chair and then curb stomps him and then leaves him bloody in the ring.
That's great. Anytime Paul Heyman gets his comeuppance is great because he is a non-combatant.
Yeah, that's why
it's
you
extra
have
emphasis.
to put it at mid, and just for the fact that like Paul Heyman took a bump. You know what I'm saying? And then they carry him out in the ambulance. Logan Paul and Austin Theory are trying to get everything cleared away, and then for some reason Austin Theory opens up a car door. Who is it? Jimmy Uso. And then LA Knight is in the driver's seat of the ambulance and drives away with Paul Heyman. So
which LA Knight should be arrested for that, realistically, because I know, first of all, he doesn't own an ambulance. So that means there were EMTs there, right, on standby that he must have beat the shit out of. Like, take control of the ambulance.
Maybe those EMTs accepted a bribe.
Or that. Either way, he should be arrested. Like, and if they accepted a bribe, then you got to throw the EMTs in jail too. Like, that's dereliction of duty. All this type of stuff. Like, you're not a doctor, but I would assume they got some kind of Hippocratic oath. Like, you gotta protect the patient. You know what I'm saying? It's an old 65-year-old man. Like,
hey, but you know what? Like, living in New York, one thing I found out, it's like you could have like your own like emergency ambulance service.
Oh yeah, you can. I'm just saying LA Knight doesn't.
We never know. You never know. Maybe that's a side business. Maybe that's a side hustle he's got.
Maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe he is Jewish. That's true. Because I know the Jewish people. I know that's a fact. They got their whole own private.
I never knew that. I thought those were like all had to be like from the hospitals and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's like almost like an Uber service. Almost. It's like
they take care of their community. Yep. Yeah. They got the EMTs and ambulances on standby. Where you need to go. All right.
But yeah, shout out to Paul Heyman and taking a bump. Super bloody. I don't know, like, should he be
blood
that
capsule?
Bloody?
Blood capsule.
Yeah, obviously he's a blood capsule. But,
okay, yeah.
A shot to the back and a curb stop. Like, is
broken nose. Broken nose.
Okay. Gunther getting the win over Dragon Lee through submission and pulling his mask off. I saw the replay of this, but I was reading the Bleacher Report before I saw the replay, and they're like, yo, this match had they shouldn't have been this close in quote unquote, kayfabe because of, Gunther and Dragon Lee. Because they were like, Dragon Lee made you believe that he was going to pull this match out. Obviously he wasn't, but like he did a great job of making you believe that he could possibly get this win. Threatened it, and it got to the point, I mean, like, if Gunther's got you in a chokehold submission and has to pull your mask off in order for him to get the win.
Yeah, he pushed him to the limit for sure.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably over between those two. This did feel like a blow off to me, where, I mean, not to mention, obviously, it's Elimination Chamber weekend. And we know that Dragon Lee has been standing up for AJ Styles, his retirement, since Gunther's been disrespected him the whole time. And then to take it up another level of disrespect, which was my Reggie, I just hate the WWE lucha mask pulling, like how much it happens. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy amount where I'm just like.
And apparently it's unintentional, but apparently there was a shot where I don't know if they've edited it at this point, but there was like a half a second shot where you can see Dragon Lee's face. And then one of the wrestling writers, I think like Sean Rossap, put that image on his socials, and people were tied at him for like, yo, bro, like, why'd you even do that? And he was like, bro, it was on TV, so you can't get mad at me for that. I'm like, to each his own, I wouldn't do it, but like that, I get it. The thing about me with this is like, and this is the non-kayfabe aspect of it. Apparently, Dragon Lee's contract might be coming up soon. So that's where
is
I'm
it?
like, obviously, Gunther and Dragon Lee is not really a competition, but
Yeah.
then you add in the fact that, hey, if it is true that Dragon Lee's contract is coming up, like maybe this is just the way you write off Dragon Lee.
Okay, I can see that. If he is, yeah. I didn't think about his contract situation.
Maybe
So
not
maybe.
now, but like you probably have to run it back at
Near
least
future.
one more time just for the fact that like you pulled off his mask to get that win. Because again, we're getting this theme with Gunther is like he's gonna pull out the desperation at times to get these wins. And it's like, did you really need to be desperate against Dragon Lee? But again, that's where it's like that self-doubt kind of comes in, where it's like you gotta tap out to AJ Styles on the left side when really, you know, when the ref doesn't see it, or who was someone else that he did it. I think Sammy, he did kind of like desperation tactics and whatnot. So it fits in with the Gunther storyline, but then I'm also like, again, I don't know if it's true or not, but then if it is true, I'm like, okay, at some point, Dragon Lee is eventually just going to get completely destroyed and written off television, and he might end up in AEW like 2 weeks from then. So I don't know, but either way, shout out to Dragon Lee for having a great match and making you believe that he could possibly have pulled this
out. Yeah. The shakes that I got, or we both agreed. You got an extra one. But as we talked about it somewhat, but the Rhea promo and Jade tweets. That's that drama was what were they saying in those tweets? Oh yeah, that Rhea works with backstage to keep herself over, like some Hogan shit, basically, right?
Well, it initially started because Chelsea had like retweeted a tweet that said that Rhea is going to be in her 7th consecutive WrestleMania where she's fighting for a title. And going back to what we said last week about Cody, it's like this is going to be Cody's 4th WrestleMania in a row, main eventing for a title. It's like Rhea's got 7 on him consecutive.
Yep. It's crazy.
That's insane. That's what we talk about. It's like you just can't bet against her because it's like the way she's booked is just Hogan-esque. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then Jade, I don't know if she's coming in from it as a character standpoint or, you know, how much of it's real, but then she commented on Chelsea saying something like, you know, like basically like get off her nuts or something like that, or I'm the best, something along those lines. And then Rhea said like, we're not friends. I'm not joking. Like we got beef, this, that, and the third. Then a report comes out saying that there's a lot of heat behind and backstage from not some of the other ones. Cause like Piper Niven wrote a tweet coming at her. I think maybe Meechin. There's a few other people that made comments towards the online spatter between Jade and Rhea, and I'm like, apparently they're coming from, you know, wrestling dirt sheets. Apparently Jade has been rubbing people the wrong way backstage.
I would like to believe that that's kayfabe build for WrestleMania because, as I've said with Jade's character, she's been a tweener bully. That's the way I've seen her the entire time. She's not full on heel because if she was a heel bully, she'd be Drew, basically, right? But she's still been standing up to people and being like, yo, come see me type shit. So I kind of saw it as that. If it's real, hey, chill out, I guess. But that's as simple as I got to say with it. But I mean, Twitter, and like I said, with us being in the Unreal era or whatever, like, you don't know what to believe, right? So maybe so.
Yeah, I don't put too much stock into it. I feel like also like we've kind of had a similar storyline last year with Tiffany and Charlotte, where it's like I think a couple years ago, it's like whenever they feel like they have some real tension between two wrestlers, they try to like capitalize on that. And I'm like, yeah, it makes sense, but I'm like, not everything needs to be capitalized in that kind of fashion, or again, maybe they can't control it. I don't know. Does it work for my build? It's early. As far as a build to WrestleMania and getting me hyped up as like, yeah, this is one of the main events for WrestleMania. We'll see. But right now, I'm like, I hope Jade wins just for the fact that like Rhea is just so OP.
Yeah, that was kind of when we were talking.
To the point where like there is no I don't have any type of tension or like dramatic belief that she's going to lose. Like
Yeah,
there's none of that for me.
yeah. Because
And
my
again,
thought is,
that's not anything against her. That's more of just like, yo, 7 main events,
Mhm.
7 title shots. That's OD consecutive. That's OD.
Yeah. I mean, not for nothing. I know I mentioned last week. Hey, what if they were building this up just to put Jade over, right? Because we did the same thing last year when before Charlotte even came back and we saw the vignette. We were like, she's winning the Rumble and she's winning the title. And then she didn't win the title at Mania. So this could be just an echo of last year. Fingers crossed.
I
Because
hope in
that
this.
would be the surprise of shit. That'd be surprising as
I
shit.
hope in this build, Rhea is doing that for Jade. Because I feel like she kind of needs it. Jade kind of needs it, and to have someone like on Rhea's caliber and stature, I do think that she could put over Jade as like a credible champion that people. Because again, she's only defended her belt like what twice since
Yeah.
she's won it, and so now you got however many time women's champion, S tier face of the company at main eventing at WrestleMania. It's like okay, yeah, you. This is not last year where you're like third on the Saturday card.
Yeah.
You know, you're either last on the Saturday card or second to last, or maybe you might open night 1. I don't know, night 2 of WrestleMania. But I do think there's more of a benefit for Jade. Even like how we said, if this was originally like how we predicted, and I think has been loosely confirmed that originally this was supposed to be Jade versus Bianca. That like, Jade's got a Brock Lesnar somebody. She's got a Brock Lesnar these women.
Yeah.
And if Jade Brock Lesnar's Rhea at WrestleMania, especially after the promo we heard on SmackDown, that I think that would do wonders.
Yeah. Not for sure. I mean, that's the way to put a rocket on her back, right?
Yeah.
The other thing I had was just basically announcements we got for next week, which is we're going to have a women's Intercontinental Gauntlet match. So that's for the number 1 contendership.
Yeah.
Or is that for
Yeah. I'm not. I'm a little down on that just for the fact I'm like, man, like it's a little. That's a little annoying.
What? A gauntlet match?
Yeah, the fact that like it just seems like we're just trying to put people on a show and like we don't really have much of a storyline. Like,
hey, better to be on TV than not be on TV.
Yeah, sure. It's more of just how we're building the belt. But again, we'll see. We got Bailey, you got Lyra, you got Raquel, I believe is in that match. Roxanne,
maybe.
I forget who else was named in that match, but yeah, we'll see. It's going to be an entertaining match. I just wish there was
Ivy Nile, probably. She's definitely
so.
IC division.
I think, yeah. We'll see how it plays out, but
yeah.
And I'm like, when I saw that, I was just like, okay, that's why I'd shake. It's not Reggie, but it's just more of like,
you can't be down on an announcement. It's just an announcement, like that we're featuring the title. That's all it is.
Yeah. And then
Oba and Rusev, they came to blows, and now they're gonna have a match next week.
Same thing where I'm like, he's gonna squash Rusev. Because that's the story, right?
I would think so.
If we're building up to Brock versus Oba,
yeah, he's got to squash him. Yeah,
it's like you're making the point that Oba Femi just ran through the entire roster within 2 months. And so, yeah, okay, it should be fun, but the way again we haven't really seen Rusev on TV like that, but this should be a good match. Hopefully it's competitive. If it's not a squash and they actually give him time and make Oba work for it, yeah, you at least get a mid. But if it's just what we've been seeing, then I'm like, okay, yeah, just hurry up and get the Mania and get us Oba and Brock.
Yeah, man, are we gonna? Yeah, that's crazy. Put over Jade and put over Oba against the S tier whites.
Yeah,
in Trump's
they
America.
they not giving
That's
them that
tough,
type of power.
bro.
They are not giving them that type of power.
Man, we talking about Jade going over and Oba. Both? I don't know.
Mhm.
It's funny. I'm just thinking
And
about what we're
imagine if they
predicting right now.
okay, if that happens, Jade is definitely not beating Rhea in a Brock Lesnar fashion because I would
Oh
say
no.
Oba Brock Lesnar is Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, but yeah, that's a very astute point, sir. Points to
Yeah.
you. Points to
Those
you
are singles
calling that out.
matches. And the last
Um,
shake you had, I didn't see
yeah,
this. Natty's promo.
yeah, this was a commercial break promo and
That's
the
why.
stands, and so, but yeah, Natty cuts a promo towards Maxine, basically saying like, I don't even know why I even made you even believe that you should be in this business, and you're not cut out for it. This, that, and the third. Just again, more good build of just the attitude change in Natty and just her kind of building out that badassness that she has, and so nothing too big, but I added the clip for you to watch on that in that link.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a good promo. No, nothing to write home about, but it was good as far as like character development and just making you believe that like, yeah, Natty is someone that should be respected and thought of, and saying that like, yeah, I'm born in this business. You are just this newbie, and the fact that I even made you even think in your head that you could even
Hang with
hang
me.
here
Yeah.
is my fault, and I gotta fix that. So shout out to her. Anything else from the flagship?
Nah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, we went a little long, but that's what happens when we are digitally. Let's get to Bodega NXT go home show for tonight's Vengeance Day.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I had the
JC
highest thing
Jane.
on here. Yeah, JC
Yeah.
Jane retaining via interference versus Zarya because the Soul Ruka hits a kind of rough but double soul snatcher,
Yeah.
causing the DQ. And this was a primo just because, I mean, obviously the Zaruka story is,
Mhm.
self-contained, but the match was great up until that point. So I was like, I'm not gonna penalize you for also still building story for something that I care about. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't
Yeah.
believe that Zarya was gonna win the match anyway.
It
Like
was
that wasn't gonna
expected.
happen.
That's why I have it admit. It's like it was expected. It's like Zarya cost Sol Ruka last week, so of course Sol Ruka is gonna cost Zarya this week.
Yeah. The match was too good. This is probably one of Zarya's best matches she's had, and especially with it being a one-on-one. So that's why I was like, I had to keep like
And I don't
in an
blame you because
AEW sense,
I
it
do.
had to stay primo for me. In an AEW, like, just wrestling on mat, I'm like, it has to be primo.
That's why I'm not even disagreeing with you because I did the same thing when we get to AEW with the Don Callis family versus Jet Set
Rodeo. Yeah.
But
Man, that
yeah,
fucking go
that's a
anyway, we'll
great
get
name.
there.
That's a great
I was
name.
gonna
We'll
say,
get there. That's a great name. But
yeah.
I don't fault the logic. I appreciate it. I agree with you. Also, I really like Sol Ruka's shirt. I'm like, is that a new shirt? That like soccer t-shirt, like jersey she kind of had on?
Oh yeah, probably so. Like she's wearing like a Will Ospreay like soccer
Yeah.
jersey or something.
It was
Okay.
it was a little loose, but it was like I was like, yo, that looks kind of fly. I'd wear that.
Oh,
So,
okay. I didn't notice. I'll look back.
yeah. I don't know if that's something that's being sold, but it was a dope shirt. I liked her t-shirt. Mids, we have some splits here. What do you want to start off with? Would we agree upon or will we disagree upon?
Disagree because it started the show and it's the not the most important title, but second most important title. The Miles Bourne celebrating his North American Championship win against Ethan Page, and then Ethan Page coming out there talking his shit and being like, "Hey, let's run it back then." But the reason I still had it in mid, yes, I didn't expect him to win it back immediately, but even just giving me at the start of the show, like both of these guys are, in their suits, non-wrestling gear, and giving me a match in the suits, I was like, I enjoyed that. So
yeah,
because they always say like right now, you know what I'm saying, but they'll be in gear. So it's just like, all right, this gives you the extra feeling of like they weren't ready, So
yeah.
I enjoy it. And they gave them time. It was still like a 12, 15 minute match and everything. So
yeah, I have this as Shake again. not expecting Miles Bourne to lose his title 1 week after winning it. Second, it's about time Ego gets back on the NXT Championship path.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of like, just let Miles Bourne live.
Yeah.
Like, and then also like, well, I do agree with you that like they did have a match. Did we need to pull off Ego's pants off?
Yeah, sure. Why not? It was fun.
It's just a little ridiculous. It's just like,
actually, it doesn't matter
then,
because we're used to him being in underwear. Wrestlers are in underwear, so
it's not even about the underwear. It's more just about like, it's more of just the comedy aspect, and then Miles Bourne hitting him with the shoe, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Like,
Ethan would have did the same thing. He learned from the best, right? He had to win the title. Ethan would have hit him with a shoe or a belt or something if he had the chance.
I just hope
Miles has leveled up.
Hope this is the end. I just hope this is the end.
I think it's interesting you say he need to be on the NXT Championship route because my thought was before you said that I was gonna say how much longer is he in NXT because we know he's a polished product.
I mean, they're even saying
he's
that
polished.
Like they're saying that like this is probably his last run at the NXT Championship, and then he's gonna get called up. So
okay, because I'm like, yeah,
it's just more of just biding time until deadline. Not deadline. I keep saying deadline. Stand and deliver, and then maybe you might get him onto. He could probably be in a Money in the Bank. Match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see that.
That'd be really interesting to see if he won.
But yeah, you had that as Shake. I guess we might as well do the same thing for you. You had the Blake and Jada feud as mid. I had that as Shake.
Yeah, this is probably the best thing that's been going on in NXT in my opinion the last few weeks, especially since the roster turnover. Makes sense because these two are probably some of the most experienced people on the show. Jada's promo earlier in the night towards Blake and saying that like if you take out all that but bastard in the third, like what do you have? You're still a bitch or whatever, stuff like that. It's like thought there was some good like intensity behind that. Blake coming back later in the show and talking about, I had it up to here with you effectively and calling out for a street fight. It was always going to be a street fight. So again, I'm looking forward to
Jada's match. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that, and I feel like it's a bit of a toss-up.
It is because I did say in the feud I would have Jada going over, but with this promo, she said, Blake said some words that intrigued me. You're gonna meet the woman from hell, and I'm like, don't give me hope that I'll see this bloodthirsty princess that I saw in AEW because we're not gonna get that far. But
you're not gonna get that far. You're gonna see some blood. If Paul can bleed on Monday, she can bleed on a puppet show.
If Blake bleeds, she's winning. That's her superpower. She's like one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, who would that be? Or Isaiah Stewart? Remember when LeBron elbowed him and busted his fucking nose, and then he just raged out for like 3 minutes? Was trying to kill LeBron. I was like, he meant that shit too. Like, I could believe that. But yeah, like you said, it does feel more of a toss up after Blake saying that because I do still want to pick Jada, but I'm like, I don't know.
We'll see. We got a few more shows to get through before we make those predictions. But yeah, I enjoyed. There's really good tension behind this. I think both women have done a great job over the last month as far as this feud has gone building up. So one of the more entertaining things that I've on the show for me is this Blake and Jada feud, and I'll be curious to see how this match plays out tonight.
Mm-hmm.
The mid that we do agree upon, Ricky Saints concert.
Yeah, doing a bad Joe Hendry concert. That was great. Just fits with his character too.
That's what makes it enjoyable is that he was bad. He doesn't play the guitar. And then he was like, yeah, hold on. This guitar is out of tune, whatever. And it's like, give me a new guitar. And it's like, yeah.
He's like, I'm way better than this. What y'all talking about?
I think that's what makes it enjoyable was that like he was bad and he knows he's bad, but it worked.
Yeah.
All the other stuff after it, like as soon as like Joe Hendry gives him the guitar, I'm like, okay, that's where we're gonna get into typical. But usually you might see Elias, maybe Joe Hendry, it could be The Rock. Like usually somebody has some type of guitar talent. It's like, okay, yeah, we got it. Or some singing talent, we got it. You could do it. But like to see someone like not be good but still do it, and as egotistical as Ricky has been, Yeah, that's why I put this as a mid.
The last mid that I had, which surprised me, was Shiloh Hill and Hank and Tank getting the win over Vanity Project. Not
Yeah.
surprised in the sense of like that they won, because all of these people are new. Obviously, I mean, with the exception of Hank and Tank, you know, they're the oldest ones here. But once again, in ring, I'm all about the Vanity Project for real.
Yeah.
I did partially vomit like typing this into mid with having Hank and Tank being part of this trio, but I was like, can't be helped. I enjoyed it too much. So
I find it ironic that as down as you are on Hank and Tank, I'm probably not as I don't have as much vitriol for for Shiloh Hill as you could have towards Hank and Tank.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're all on a team together, like I just don't care for Shiloh Hill.
No, I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
Don't.
That tooth gimmick, dog. Like, I mean, that's a great comedy spot the first few weeks with Ariana Grace and Stacks and shit like that. And we're getting used to knowing him and stuff. But I'm like, all right. Once again, I mean, he just got here, so as we said with other,
I'm not too hard on him, but like the vignette did nothing for me. And then since you've been on the show, I'm like, you still haven't done anything for me. Like, it's just not for me right now. And I'm like, I'm sure maybe in a few months, maybe by this time next year, I'm like, yo, I'm a big Shiloh Hill fan. But right now, I'm like, only reason from like you just got on the rub from the Undertaker because you was on LFG. Okay,
yeah,
cool. But like, so far, nothing has resonated with me to be like, yeah, I'm not even entertained by him. I'm just like, okay, it's just
he's on TV. Yeah,
he's on TV.
No, I agree with you on that. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be to go to your point. You're not going to be a huge fan of him until we get that character maturity or an advance in gimmick. You know what I'm saying? Because right now the gimmick is that he's a country boy who has been terminally online, I guess.
He's super smart. Like, he's legitimately super smart. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, as far as kayfabe, is he?
No, not even in real life. Like,
I'm talking about kayfabe. His character. His character is.
Yeah, even in his character, because like in his vignettes, he was talking about how he was like, yeah, I was coding. I went to Stanford and stuff like that. Like, I think
that don't mean you smart, nigga. Because you went to Stanford don't mean you smart. I don't want to hear that.
I'm saying he did it. I think he started school at a pretty young age. I'll look that up, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was coming across.
Sure. Well, you're gonna have to tell me that you started Stanford at 14. That'll tell me, or 16. That'll tell me you're smart. Don't say you went to Stanford. That means you smart, nigga. No, it don't. That means you got money to go to college.
Sustainable science, practicing computer promo week 1 revealed that he was completing online courses in a record time despite truancy issues. So
online, all right, sure. Maybe he might be smart. I saw the the vignette of him being in front of the computer and all that shit. But either way, he's gonna have to change that gimmick before we care about him for real. The last thing I had on here, or we both had, shake-wise, was the speed tournament match for the women's speed title. Ren Sinclair getting the win over Nikita Lyons. Just nice. So we got the finals is gonna be Thea Hale versus Ren Sinclair, and then whoever wins that going up against Fallon Henley for the speed title. Or not Fallon? Is it Fallon? Is it Fallon Henley right now? Oh, okay,
yeah. I'm a fan of Ren Sinclair, and like I said, a couple weeks ago when Nikita came back onto the NXT, she looked improved. She looked improved. I'm not saying like she's gonna be like main roster or win the NXT championship anytime soon, but like, compared to how she was before to like where she's at now, she's obviously building character. There's like, I think it's like kind of like Nikita Multimedia, something like that. Like, it's like her gimmick, and there's something there where I'm like, okay, like you've definitely been putting in the work that I'm like, I like to see the growth. And so I'm curious to see how Nikita, I guess 2.0 looks like now with her having spent time in Evolve and, refining her character, getting her knees healthy. Cause again, she's come back from like, I think like double ACL surgery.
Yeah. Double
as well. So I think, and she looks like she's in better shape. Not to say she was out of shape, but like kind of like, when people come out, get injured and they come back, they're like a lot more slimmed down or like, look like they've literally been hitting the gym. I'm like, okay, like, you know, you took off some of that baby weight and it's turned into like, you know, refined, a little bit more of a refined body. Then I'm like, okay, there might be something I could see where the where the interest in Nikita was outside of her, you know, her assets, quote unquote. Um, because she does have like I believe like a mixed martial art, not a mixed martial arts, but like at least like some type of fighting background where she like does like karate or like taekwondo or something like that. So, um, yeah, again, fan of Ren, Thea and Ren next week for the Speed Championship should be fun. And then again, Nikita has been, you know, looking not to say impressive, but encouraging in this run compared to her first run.
Yeah, and the last thing I would put up here, because this is I didn't put it on here, but it would be Shaker to be corner, whatever you would call it, because I actually watched Evolve because it reminded me Kendall Gray was there. She defended her title against SJ Vasa, the Samoan woman I told you, she's going to be the next one. They had a street fight, and obviously she's still the champion. That more than surprised me, where I'm just like, all right, because we got the steel, they had the steel steps in the ring, and SJ Vasa, she was like, stacking up all these chairs horizontally, like clearly about to like fuck her, like do a power slam onto it. And then Kendall Gray, technical background, is able to like basically reverse it into basically like a 401k, you know, that face buster that Kiana James does. 1, 2, 3. But I was like, okay, that was surprised me, if anything, because I knew that match was coming up. And I'm like, okay, let me watch the coronation. And I'm like, all right, okay, you want me to believe that? Sure, I guess maybe SJ got some more improvement to do, but she looked good to me because I'm like, the second that she comes up to NXT, I'm gonna be like, these women are in trouble, bro. I'm telling you, they're in trouble.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I've been hearing, and again from the matches that I have seen of Kendall Gray, like they are saying like Kendall Gray is like she can move up the chain really quickly.
Yeah, she's clearly the best women's wrestler on Evolve at this point in time, which makes sense. She's
some people
champion,
might say she's probably even one of the best on NXT.
Sure, maybe.
Like, and it's like they're saying she's a fast learner. Like they like she could be. They were saying she could be called up pretty quick to the main roster if they needed to. So, anything else from the bodega?
Nope, that's it for me.
We got predictions later on, so we'll get to that. We want to talk about current events before we go into the coffee shop?
I mean, it's not even much to talk about, honestly. I just found this interesting because we know that Street Fighter 6 is coming out. And we got all these, you know, new characters and stuff, and the movie, obviously. But when I was on YouTube in my wrestling algorithm, I came across, you know, the mocap for Alex in Street Fighter 6 is actually Kenny Omega. And which is funny because Alex is he's not Guile, because Guile, obviously, you know, he's like the Marine, like the American guy with like the fucking high top and shit like that.
Cody Rhodes.
But yeah, exactly. Cody Rhodes is about to be him in the movie. But I thought it was an interesting thought. I was like, is Kenny Omega casted? I would like for him to be casted in this movie if that was it. Can we hurry up and get him back? But I just wanted to point that out. I thought it was a, you know, cool little 2-minute video, them showing the mocap of, you know, as Kenny Omega's doing all of his stuff. It's just Kenny Omega taunts is all of Alex, you know, like when he says thank you and good night, bang, all that stuff is Alex in Street Fighter 6. So I thought that was cool.
Hey, maybe he might be in Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
The movie.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh, the second one. Yeah.
Let's get into the coffee shop. Dynamite. Another very entertaining show. We'll start off with the title change. Don Callis family getting the win over a really dope name, Jet Set Radio. If you know, you know, because Jet Set Radio was an all-time classic video game that I love.
Definitely a millennial reference. Yeah, a millennial reference for sure. These Gen Zers don't know nothing about that.
And Okada, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis win the trios titles from Hangman and Mike Speedball and Kevin Knight, who pulled double duty because he was in a title match for the AEW Championship against MJF to start the night. Like I mentioned for you, what you just said for JC Jane and Zarya, how like while it might have been predictable, the match was still great. This is how I feel about this match, where I'm like, they just took the belt. Jet Set Rodeo only had the belts is because what's his face? I was gonna say Royce Keys, Powerhouse
Mm.
Hobbs was leaving, and so they needed to get the belts off. But like
Off the
after
ops,
that,
yeah.
after that, you ain't never seen Hangman hang well with Jet Speed.
Yeah, no, not for real.
They barely even defended those titles. So
That's
again,
what I thought was
transitional.
funny was because they had the t-shirts on this episode, and I was like,
Mhm.
when they lost, I was like, y'all had these t-shirts for 1 week. Y'all didn't get no time for this,
I didn't even know your name
like
was Jet
trios to
Set
get
Rodeo.
over.
Like if y'all was named Jet Set Rodeo, I was like, yo, that's a dope name. Like what?
I kind of like it's funny, like, because obviously it's a Franken team, like, even Jet Speed is a Franken team. You're just throwing
Mhm.
people's names together to try to make it fit. And this just happened to be the best case scenario where you
Mhm.
can come out with a name like this. But as far as, like, continuing on with the actual kayfabe of the show, it's like, yeah, Hangman is a singles guy who just happens to be a face versus Jet Speed, who is a tag team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't see them, they're not completely all aligned as much as they are just all faces. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Versus Don Callis family being an actual faction. So, and let alone Okada being in that match. And we know how over Fletcher is with me. Mark Davis ends up getting the pin with, I love his like snatch grip. I don't know what the fuck you would call that. Like his snatch
Mhm.
grip pile driver that he does. I'm like, damn. Because it looks like, usually when you get somebody up for a pile driver, there's that hesitation of like,
Mhm.
oh, let
So
me
like,
protect their neck. And
yeah,
then
let me like
Mark Davis
get my
doesn't do
grip
that.
right. And I'm like, how do you not mess up? Yeah, I totally understand
He
what
doesn't
you're
do
saying.
that at all. He's like, if your neck's broken, your neck's broken. Oh well.
Is that his first time holding gold in AEW?
Mark Davis, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to him. Congratulations. And then yeah, I also think it also helps out. Like I said, Kevin Knight was just in a world title match with MJF earlier in the night, so to pull double duty, there's a lot of things where I'm like, the match was still great, but you have some outs where it's like, okay, these guys are literally from a non-kayfabe perspective, they're just kind of transitioning because they had to take the belts off the ops, and so now you put it on Don Callis family. Kevin Knight had a match earlier in the night, so he's a little tired and whatnot.
He's at
Overall,
half health. Yeah.
yeah, overall, great match. Primo. And even if it was predictable that Don Callis was going to win, Primo.
Yeah, I thought it was predictable, but it wasn't predictable that MJF was going to cause that because I thought John Callis just would have, won clean, but
Yeah,
MJF
that's
came down
true.
and hit Hangman with the dynamite diamond ring.
I also didn't understand, like, why is the ref listening to Okada when he's like, yo, ref, come over here? It's like, bro, I'm doing my job. Like, you're outside of the ring. And then the ref was like, oh, yeah, what you need, Okada? Just intentionally distracting himself. Like, well, I got another comment about the refs later, but
Yeah.
in this week, but that I didn't understand. But I'm like, fine, whatever. I'll let it live. But,
Yeah.
what you want to talk about next?
I guess we might as well segue into it. MJF retaining. Like you said, Kevin Knight was at half health, in video game terms, because he just took a heat seeker and shit like that. But the match was entertaining, and of course he wasn't going to lose. But hey, it's cool to just the fact that you can just talk your way into a title match is a good thing. I think it's just a matter of like obvious. I mean, MJF is an extremely charismatic character who's also extremely ego driven, so he can't have you talking shit or like, who the fuck is this punk Kevin Knight? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense to me that he'd be like, let me shut this kid up, versus Kevin Knight actually earning or quote unquote deserving a title shot.
Yeah.
Hey, we book what we book. You know what I'm saying? So I still enjoyed it, and in the sense of, as I mentioned before, with like Moxley, like with his eliminator matches, like that's what MJF should be doing. This should have been an eliminator match. Like, oh, you want to talk so much shit? You ain't never getting a title shot again. Watch this.
Yeah.
But they didn't make it that. But whatever. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here. I enjoyed it as well. Like I was like, did I make some context of how he got this match? Sure. Does it matter? No. Like Kevin Knight put on a great performance. MJF did what he did. Like, great way to start off the show. Yeah, Kevin Knight was not going to win this, but didn't need to. He again, kind of like with Dragon Lee, he kind of did enough to make you believe that it could have happened. Outside of MJF kind of messing with the referee and pushing him into the ropes. I don't know how that worked.
Oh yeah, that was good. I like that. Oh
Spoiler,
yeah,
spoiler alert. That's a champion of the week for me. But
yeah. That was good. He took the UFO splash, but at the same time kicks the ref into the ropes to
yeah,
knock him out because all refs
yeah,
have 1 HP.
exactly. As
Yeah,
soon as I saw that, I was like, "Yep, Moody's right. 1 HP refs here."
yeah.
But yeah, still entertaining match, and yeah, shout out to Kevin Knight and MJF for putting on the starting off the show great.
Similarly, Tekla retaining, just putting both top titles on the line, let alone, I mean,
Mhm.
we actually did get a title change, for the trios titles. I'm like, that's nice. I mean, just a potent episode when you're like, oh shit, you can't miss out on, whether
I
predictable or not, the titles are on the line.
As I was watching this Tekla Thunder Rosa match, uh, I was originally gonna have this as Shake because I was like, this is a little too slow for me. There's a
Mm,
lot of just standing around, Tekla playing to the crowd and whatnot, and just like the action was very kind of like spaced out. But then when it started to hit, and that's where I kind of bumped it up to a mid.
mm.
And so, yeah, especially like near like the last 5 to 10 minutes of this match, it really picked up for me. But prior to that, I was like, yeah, there was a little too much like heel flaunting that I was
Yeah.
like, can we get some more moves kind of put into this match? Because right now there's just like a lot of walking and kind of like just playing to the crowd, and I'm like, it's a
Yeah.
little bit much right now for me.
You remember in those Raw versus SmackDown games, like obviously you could taunt with the right stick or whatever it was, but you
Hmm.
would do 3 in a row, but at a certain point,
It
your
would,
charisma would go down if you do
yeah.
it too much. And this was the case with this match. I agree with
Hmm.
you saying that for sure. Uh, I'm still all about Tekla though. It's my
Yeah.
bay right there.
Yeah.
Like, uh, the next thing that I enjoyed the most was Swerve answering Brody King's call out, but since he's heel Swerve, attacking him from the back with the chain, just knocking him out. I would have liked. I mean, obviously you have to protect people. I know the chain that, or I don't know this. I believe the chain that Swerve carries is real. You hear the rattling of the
Yeah. It's a
chain.
real chain.
Yeah, so like when he hits him in the head with it, like he has both hands like wrapped in it, and like just does the softest, like his momentum of
Hmm.
his body is going fast, but his hands are going slow.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I always just wish that where I was like, I mean, I know you're protecting him, but just lean in a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I get it, but yeah.
just a tad where I'm like, yo, that's when you see like really bad worked punches, bro, like Logan Paul's punches, you're like, what is this? Like, it
Yeah.
wasn't quite that, but I'm like, you could have did like just 10% little more umph. That's all.
It's funny because
To
like
make me think that this big guy got knocked out.
when he's cutting that promo to Brody outside when he's like standing outside the ring, he's holding the chain. The part
Mhm.
where he's holding the chain, which is I guess is over the top of the rope, like that's straight. That's like kind of has like some tension to it. But then you see the other part where it kind of like loops around on the side. It's like that is loose as a
Loose as fuck.
bitch.
Yeah. I'm okay with that though, because we get the
Yeah,
point. Like, don't actually
yeah,
strangle him. But yeah, I would think that the physicality of like the contact with it is
yeah,
uh more of my issue. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody want to see somebody actually strangled. Like that's why it was so OD when Brody King, the first time we saw Brody King choke out Darby in that gauntlet
hmm,
match, and he ended up getting the title shot. We were like, oh shit, because Darby's fucking crazy. He just let his hands go and was like,
hmm,
oh yeah, all he did was tuck his chin. But it's like, hey, for visually, that's a hangman choke, literally. So
yeah.
but
I had
he got it coming back to him.
as a shake. It was a fine segment. I don't think it wasn't bad or wasn't good. It was more good than I have nothing negative to say of it. It was just okay. Like this was the segment for the week.
Yeah.
Like we're just continuing. It's like yeah, we're getting a match between them at Revolution. Yeah, I get it. Like cool.
Yep. Hmm.
Just get me to the match. I think Swerve is gonna win. Like I think
Yeah.
right now, like this would have been Kenny, but Kenny is out doing promo work for Street Fighter 6 that he won't be able to make Revolution. Maybe maybe Kenny might come back at Revolution and cost Swerve this match to allow Brody to win. Who knows?
Yeah,
But,
maybe.
I'm like, yeah, just give me to the match. What do you want to talk about next?
I guess we'll disagreed on that one. So you're Orange Cassidy and Darby?
Yeah, Orange Cassidy and Darby get the win over Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors. The match itself was great. I really enjoyed it. I'm like, yo, Orange Cassidy and Darby should be a tag team and like gun for the tag team titles. Like that'd be fun.
What do you call that tag team? What's the AEW tag team name? That's the I was gonna say Freshly Dead. What's I don't know. What's Darby's gimmick? What does he call it? Does he call it a gimmick or anything?
I was gonna say Orange Crush.
Orange Crush.
It's like Orange Crash.
Oh, coffin. Hold on. Orange coffin. No. A coffin squeezed coffin. I don't know. Either way.
Yeah, something along those lines. But they were just fun. They look great, especially once they like started to get the momentum in the match, and you know they're both kind of quick high flyers in certain aspects of it. Gabe Kidd looked great as well. Clark Connors, not familiar too much with the game, but he still showed me some interesting stuff here. And so great entertaining match. Orange Cassidy and Darby get the win. After the match, you get the debut of Finley's son, Dave Finley.
Mm-hmm.
Comes through with the shillelagh, knocks out one of either Darby or Orange Cassidy or both. Standing tall. So I assume we got at least the bare minimum trios.
Yeah. This is a reunion of the War Dogs from New Japan. And okay. I think they said they're just going to go by the Dogs right now because New Japan has that trademarked as, you know, War Dogs. So, but yeah, we just got the War Dogs over here in AEW now. Just to tie a bow in it with David Finley showing up. And I like a good shillelagh. You know, I like a good, or just not a shillelagh, but unique weapons. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we got the return of a shillelagh, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the same one. That he took that shillelagh off his dad's mantle. That's exactly what that was. That's the same one.
I need to blow this real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Obafemi needs to like bring in like an African weapon, like some type of like Nigerian, like kendo stick.
Yeah.
Whatever the equivalent of a Nigerian kendo stick is, bring that here, please.
Wow. I was trying to look one up. Of course, the first thing it says list of equipment in the Nigerian army.
Let's just bring a spear and just stab you.
Right.
Overall, really enjoy the match. Orange Cassidy.
Bonhams. That's what they're called. And honestly, it looks like a shillelagh. It's an African shillelagh. It's called a bonham. Bonhams.
Yeah.
That's the closest thing I could describe it as. That's a good one.
And we got to get that into Oba's what you call it?
His repertoire.
Yeah, we got to get it on his radar. Did we talk about Mox and Hechicero?
Yeah, but once again, like you say, predictable, great match for Mox. The underrated part of this, I put underrated because I was just thinking as I'm watching this, I'm like, can Hechicero win anything? You know, you always got those few guys like Hechicero is that for Don Callis family. Rocky Romero also in Don Callis family. Beast Mortos is the next one too, and I'm just like, man, because these guys win anything.
This is where I have a problem with these open challenges because usually you get like similar contenders. Like again, the United States Championships, like Johnny Gargano's always gonna try to fight for a US Open challenge, and it's like he's going to lose, and it's like at some point I just can't believe that you're gonna win.
Johnny can win. Johnny is closer to the U.S. title than Hechicero is to the Continental, or any of those other three are to the Continental. Like significantly closer. These other guys are fighting for time on fucking Ring of Honor and shit. Like, Hechicero is getting W's on Ring of Honor against Angelico and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a great match, but again, like I agree with your point. I'm like, I was like, if I'm just not gonna believe anymore. Like saying I love Beast Mortos. I'm never picking him to win a match.
And like Hechicero, he's
never picking him winning a match.
Yeah, no, Beast Motors never. But Hechicero, like, he's so unique. Also, I forget what they call it, but they constantly put it over on commentary. Like his wrestling style is so like. Even there was that spot where he kind of had like a it was like an arm bar, but he was like rolling around, like rolling thunder at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he just had Moxley in this thing, and he was rolling him around the ring, and I'm like, but it looked clean as fuck, and I'm like, yo, this is just great work. Nobody else can do this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's why I had to throw the underrated on there. But yeah, that's it for my mids. What about your shake?
Yeah, only shake I have we both agree upon. New tag name, the Brawling Birds squash the Inspiration, formerly known as the Iconics in WWE. I'm a little confused as far as like the introduction of them because like they debuted like not on television in AEW, and then I feel like this is like one of their first like television appearances, and like they immediately just get destroyed. Like they spent more time trying to dance, and I get it. Like they're naturally a comedy duo, but I'm like, I also want you guys to be somewhat of a credible threat as far
I think
as
that's
like being in the
exactly
women's tournament, women's tag team division, and then yeah, Alex Windsor and I'm blanking on the
Jamie
other
Hayter.
woman's name. Jamie Hayter have much more experience being in AEW and Ring of Honor, respectively. Yeah, I'm just it's Reggie, not Reggie, it's Shake right now, but I'm just like, again, this is maybe just my over fandom for the Inspiration and the Iconics, but I'm like, bro, I hope they eventually get taken a little bit more seriously. I'm just a little like confused as to like how they just been introduced onto AEW television.
I don't think I was that. I think it's a matter of like, if you're an AEW fan, you're a wrestling fan, right? So you knew who the Inspiration was already. That's what I believe that Tony's thinking, which is true. I think everybody in that arena knew exactly who they were. That's why the second they came out, they got an applause. Because if they were just a new random debuting tag team, then we're gonna have to spend some time with them. But we already know Cassie Lee and Lord, I'm forgetting her name.
Jessica McKay.
Yeah.
Or Billy McKay, something like that.
Yeah. Because yeah, they are a comedy duo, but the Brawling Birds is actually a new tag team. Like, and I feel like the Inspiration is they're a unit. You know what I'm saying? Versus the Brawling Birds. I don't want to say Franken team. They're both Brits and stuff, but they both clearly were singles wrestlers who have come together to become a tag team. That's two different things. You know what I'm saying? So I think the Inspiration, it's just a matter of time. Like, it's not like this doesn't hurt their star quality at all. I
don't think it hurts their star quality. I was just again like when they first initially debuted, it wasn't even on television. It was like at a house show, and then now I feel like this is one of their more first like official proper.
This is their
television
first
debuts,
match. Yeah,
and it's like
they
just spent time just like dancing until the point where like the Brawling Birds was like, "Girls, get out of here!" Bam, bam, and pretty over real quick. I don't think that's going to be like their entire nature as being on the AEW roster. I just wish there was just like, a little bit more like, yo, put some respect on their names. That's all I want. Primo,
respect is earned.
In our scale of how we rank stuff, between like presidential to Reggie, Brawling Birds as a name. Do you think they understand the colloquial term of birds?
Well, no, because that's a British thing. They still say that. So hey, that's a British thing.
In regards to women, they call them birds still?
Yeah. Yeah, they still call them birds.
It is not negative, or is it a negative?
I know it is active in the language, like at the street level. Everybody says birds.
I'm unfamiliar.
So.
I'm unfamiliar, so I was just like,
I'll be like watching industry and stuff. You hear bird, like she's a tough bird. Like you'll hear that. That's a thing.
Okay,
I think Americans. It's like because Americans, we don't like the word cunt either, but they say cunt all the fucking time. So I would equivalent it to that. Still misogynistic, but I guess they're leaning into it.
It's not like when you said like she's like that. You said that's a tough bird. It's almost like you're saying like that's a tough broad, and it's like I don't
same
know.
thing.
Okay,
I don't think broad isn't bitch. First of all, at least it's not a cuss word, but it's still like a you're not calling her a woman. So
Yeah.
I guess that's what's negative, you know. The last thing I wanted to mention was just the FTR Young Bucks sit down, and
I didn't see
FTR in character. Well, the Young Bucks, you know their faces, and they're just like, it's taking us everything not to jump across this table and beat the shit out of you right now. And FTR, they're like, if you're gonna be all high and mighty like that, then we'll just take our titles and leave this situation right now. We don't need any of this drama acting like they're taking the high road, you know. And that's all it was, more than anything. I still got FTR though. Or I mean Young Bucks. But that's it for me on Dynamite.
All right, let's move over
to my shoot promo.
Yeah. We haven't had a shoot promo in a while, so
I had a dream. And Triple H approved. In my dream, this is what happened. Like this actually, I did have a dream. This isn't made up. But I put some footnotes up here because it's obviously you're a wrestling historian. I think you'll figure this out pretty fucking quick. But I want to even give them a little bit more hits, but I was like, man, we need to not need to, but I would really like if we brought back this one type of match. It's been 26 years since we've had this match. And I would say that this is basically the earliest attempt at a cinematic match. I would give you one. Do you have any ideas right now? I'll give you another hint.
26 years would be what, 2000?
This is 2026, so yeah, 2000 or 99. Yeah, if it hasn't passed yet, you know, clear year, whatever.
Empty stadium match?
Nah. It's only been 2 of these matches ever in history. And on WWE, so it's not like obscure shit. This is not obscure. Like, you know this.
I Quit match?
No. You know there's been an I Quit match. But my thought, I'll give you a little bit more. Either way, because I was thinking about Oba Femi and Rusev, right? And I'm like, man, these guys are like so big, or we're building to Brock and Oba. But I'm like, the destruction that would occur between Brock and Oba, like how big they've been built up, they would fuck up like the entire arena. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be putting other people in harm in kayfabe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in NXT, they throw people into the crowd or their opponent into the stands, and it'll like go into the crowd. So I was like, you got to contain these guys. And I'm like, how can I lock these people in a place and just have them beat the shit out of each other? Bring back the Boiler Room.
Yeah.
Bring back the Boiler. I rewatched both Boiler Room matches just last night, and I was like, man, Mankind and Undertaker back at SummerSlam 96. Mick Foley, god damn, dude. Like, man climbed up a ladder, fucking Undertaker that's concrete on the floor. I'm like, bro. And it's so brutal, but also it's so well spaced that I'm like, oh yeah, this and you see the camera, like they do some good cuts where I was like, oh yeah, this actually is kind of cinematic. Because, you know, they're not in front of the crowd. But I understand it's like a law of diminishing returns because you'd rather have the action in front of the crowd so they can react, I guess. But if we could get somewhere close to like a Boiler Room match and like that WrestleMania 17 triple threat, obviously they were going all around the arena, with all the weapons.
Match. Yeah.
Exactly. I want that. And Triple H approved in my dream. I told him about it. He was like, this is a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. You're right. We haven't had a Boiler Room match.
Yeah, I was like, we haven't had it in 26 years. Like, and effectively to me, when I watched it back, I was like, oh, this is just a fight in the engineering spaces of like the stadium. It's like where I work. The HVAC and the electrical shit. I'm like, that shit is dangerous as fuck. Like, fighting in there.
I used to do that like back on like SmackDown, the video game. I used to have like do matches in there all the time. So
yeah,
definitely agree. Now, yeah,
I was struck by inspiration in my dream yesterday, and I was like, oh yeah, let me type this down before I fucking forget.
I think you bringing up the WrestleMania 17 hardcore match is a perfect example because I wouldn't have a Boiler Room match just for the fact that you said you still want to have some of that match actually.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't work nowadays, but I want something like that.
I think you can eventually get into the Boiler Room and do that. And so, like, yeah, can you imagine like Oba Femi throwing Brock Lesnar through the glass and then eventually like taking him down to like the Boiler Room, and then like Oba Femi gets like shocked, has like an electrocutional shock or whatnot, and like. working their way into the stage and then jumping off and like, yeah, I think if you did like a Falls Count Anywhere hardcore match, you know, that eventually like took you through the entire arena between these two, that would be
Yeah.
dope.
I want a cinematic boiler room between Oba and Brock. That would be perfect. And even the beginning of that match, Undertaker is outside the boiler room walking in, and it's like he doesn't know, like he's like looking around because all the lights are off.
Mm-hmm.
And Mankind just has a 2x4 like behind the fucking wall. And that's the start of the match. He just goes crack and just cracks him in the back. I'm like, oh shit. So
yeah.
But that's the end of my shoot promo. Bring back the boiler room.
Let's get to the Book of Wrestling. Two on the docket for the Book of Wrestling.
Yeah, indeed. Which one do you want to take?
I'll do the earliest one because
Okay.
I'm not sure what this means. But March 7th, 1999, Snotty Tiranga?
Tiranga. Yep, Tiranga.
Kurt Angle makes his WWF television debut on Sunday Night Heat when Tiger Ali Singh called him into the ring. Angle and the crowd to watch the show was offered $5,000 by Singh to blow his nose on the American flag. Angle agreed, but when Singh had his back turned, Angle instead blew his nose on the Indian flag. WWE has since apologized for the segment. Singh tried to attack Kurt, but was met with a suplex and then another for good measure. I do not recall this, honestly. My introduction to Kurt Angle was officially him, I think, debuting in Survivor Series 99. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, this is obviously Sunday Night Heat, so not as many eyes are watching it. But yeah, that's interesting. I'm not familiar with this segment.
Yeah, the Tiranga is just the formal name of the Indian flag. Yeah, like, you know, the UK flag is the Union Jack. Ours is the Stars and Stripes and shit. So I thought about Book of Wrestling. I was like, I want to just tell him what it is. Let's read it and figure it out. You know, originally I had that written as Kurt Angle's TV debut, and I'm like, nah, that just told you what it is. So
I'll have to check that out. I'm not familiar with this segment, so I'd have to check that out.
Yep. And then March 6, 2008. Who is your favorite cruiserweight champion? WWE officially retired the Cruiserweight Championship with Hornswoggle as the last recognized champion. The title was inactive until September 2016 when it was awarded to the Cruiserweight Classic winner, TJ Perkins. You know, that purple belt we remember Neville having in WWE and the smaller guys when they were doing 205 Live.
Natty's wife? Natty's husband?
Oh, is he? I don't think
not TJ Hart, right? Not TJ Hart.
Yeah, that's Hart. Yeah, that's Hart. TJ Perkins is Filipino.
Okay. And his name is not TJ Hart. That's Natty's last name. But yeah, okay. Man, they should bring back the Cruiserweight Champion. I know, like, the Speed title can be effectively looked at, but though you still have like Jasper Troy, but man, there's a lot of good talent that could be having the Cruiserweight title.
Yeah.
And you can get a lot of great matches out of that. So.
Quick quiz. Who has the most title reigns?
I'm going to say Chavo Guerrero.
Nope. He's got the third most. He's got 6.
It's not Taka.
Nope. Not Taka.
Shane Helms.
Shane is the longest reigning combined. So he's number 1. He owns it the most, but he's only had 3 reigns. Oh, and that's my answer to the question. My favorite cruiserweight back in the day growing up. Definitely stay in the back. A hurricane coming through. That's the only time. When he would try to choke slam Kane and shit. Like, man. I fucking love it. But the answer is Rey Mysterio. Almost too obvious. Obvious. That man.
And is that counting like WCW?
No, that's WWE. Just the WWE.
Don't even recall that many times he's held that belt. That's crazy.
Yep. It's crazy. But, yep, that's the Book of Wrestling for this week.
Yeah. let's get into the final show before we get our NXT predictions for Vengeance Day. SmackDown. Bit of a given. As it was announced, like I said, when we started this show, it rubbed me the wrong way when it was announced right after the Chamber match. Drew McIntyre versus Cody for the WWE title. Sure enough, at that moment, I was like, and as everybody else predicted, I'm not alone in this, but it's like, Drew's got to be losing this, right?
Yeah.
Or, there's got to be some type of interference. Obviously, Jacob is a big contender, which that did happen. Maybe Sammy could have interfered as well. But no, it was typical as what you get. I have this as a mid. You have this as a primo. I also dropped this to a mid because not only for its predictability, I was a little confused as far as the mechanics of the match because somehow this turned into a no DQ.
Yeah,
but like
I
don't, because like there was at one point Cody had Drew in a figure four, and Drew grabbed with both hands the bottom rope, and the ref was like, "I can't do nothing about it." I'm like, since when can you not break a rope break? Like, what is happening here? And that's where again, like apparently people on the internet was like, "Oh, the ring announcer was saying that the only way you can win this match is by pinfall submission." I'm like, so does that eliminate rope breaks? So that's where I was like,
well, yeah, because mechanically, if you don't give up a rope break, you're supposed to be DQ'd. So they're saying that it's no DQ in that case. Yeah.
Then just say it's a no DQ match. But again, I guess you don't want to.
I hear you.
I was like, again, I jumped in halfway because like I watched the movie last night like super late, and so I missed the last 5 minutes of the match, but I watched for about 20 minutes before my movie started. I was like, yo, that threw me off. I'm like, since why is the ref not breaking this rope break? And then people were like, yeah, he got put through a table, all that stuff. I'm like, this just, again.
Tables aren't illegal. Tables are furniture.
This is where you're getting into, like, we get it. You were trying to get to a certain storyline. And you got to get the belt off of Drew. And I'm like, but in kayfabe, Drew has every right to be pissed off. And honestly, the same get back that Cody just got immediately after the Chamber, Drew should get that.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. It's probably going to be Drew versus Jacob at the Rumble, at Mania. But, yeah.
Hopefully we have room for that.
I was already turned off by this match being announced, and then the way that it played out, I was like, entertaining match. Really good match. You took the suspension of disbelief was not there for me.
Yeah, I can believe that.
I gotta drop it down to mid.
Sure. A great thing I love seeing as always, stealing finishers. Come on now.
Yeah.
A Cody Claymore, which was weak as fuck, by the way. And I'm like, oh yeah, the Claymore works for Drew because Drew's a giant. It's like just one kick from that guy could put you out. Mm-hmm. And like when Cody did it,
we asked before, it's like, what's stronger, a haluva kick or a Claymore? And I was like, definitely a Claymore. A haluva kick.
Yeah. And then we got an ugly. It's funny. Anytime somebody else tries to do the crossroads, I guess that move really does suck, like Roman said, because that shit is janky as fuck. Whenever somebody else tries to do it, that's not Damian Priest, because remember that was originally his finisher. But once again, both of these primos very similarly. For me, I mean, the second one was not predictable, but just in-ring quality was too high on a WWE. I wouldn't put them up with AEW wrestling, but as far as WWE primo wrestling is concerned, this is as good as you're going to get one-on-one on a SmackDown. You know what I'm saying? So enjoyed that thoroughly. And my other primo I had was the men's tag team gauntlet we got for a number one contendership.
This is one of the biggest divides I feel like we have a split on, because you have this as a primo and I have this as a shake.
Yeah. Yeah, I have this as a primo. Really because we got to see, I mean, I was like, oh yeah, Los Garzas is still here. We haven't forgotten about them. And not to mention the surprise of just like, hey, if I get to see another Ron Killing's title reign of any type, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? We know he's on the way out the door, and having the cascading effects. I like the beef of Wyatt Six and not MCMG, excuse me, MFT. MFT coming down and causing that interference because, of course, we've been talking about, oh yeah, we're getting this for 6 months, and now you're saying you're at the point of like you're done with the rivalry. So I was thinking in my mind, Wyatt Six are winning this and winning at Mania, and then I get a complete surprise because I'm like, first of all, they're not even a tag team. Damian Priest and R-Truth. They're just homies. But the fact that they pull it out, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go, Ron Killings. And Damian Priest, not for nothing. It sucks because he is a former heavyweight champion, but he has not been booked that way at all since he first came to SmackDown and was original, got one shot at the title against Drew. So just for an uptick on both of their stock, whether it be in the tag team division or not, I'm for that. So that was why it's a primo, mostly holy shit surprise of Ron Cena and Damian Priest getting the win, and once again, in-match quality from everybody. Or in-ring quality, excuse me.
And this is why I have it as a shake, because Los Garzas, AWOL.
AWOL.
AWOL. Praxium, for the most part, AWOL. Outside of
recently, yeah.
AWOL, they've been around the Open Challenge. MCMG, AWOL.
Yep.
The only people that have been around is the Wyatt Six, and then they got taken out by MFTs, which means that the random tag team that was made literally moments before this match ends up winning it, of R-Truth and Damian Priest. For a second, because I had turned on SmackDown and I was like, I saw a Bull Black dude in a tag team match. I'm like, is that Apollo Crews? And then I stopped and actually looked. I was like, oh, that's Ron Killings. Ron R-Truth. What is he doing? And who's this? Damian Priest. I was confused. I was like, because I had missed the segment before. And so I was like, and then I come to find out they ended up winning the match. I was like, okay, shout out. Right now, if I had to book it, it seems like the Wyatt Six are gonna cost the MFTs the tag team title.
Yeah, that's
whenever they have this match between
or the SmackDown before Mania, probably. Yeah.
And so to your point, both R-Truth and Damian Priest getting titles again. Shout out to them. But I was like, this does more to highlight the lack of
consistent booking in the tag team division.
Yeah, than anything.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Because I think it's better to predict that. That's definitely SmackDown before Mania, because that's not a Mania match to have them win that. So if we're leading up to that, I'm okay with that, because if we're having a coronation happens at Mania, and that's where I would want, Los Garzas to win, or Fraxium, or whoever is going to be, a legit tag team. But everybody else in this match is multiple time tag team champions. They're already made men. So that's why, for the underdog, clearly out of all of them to win, that's why I was like, okay, this is cool. And it's not going to be a Mania match. So, but I agree. We need to take more care of really the most, Los Garzas. That's what I was like, I ain't seen them in a minute, boy.
Yeah. We said a few weeks ago, where's MCMG? Or MCMG been? And we still ain't getting no Street Profits.
Yeah, Street Profits still gone.
You know what I'm saying? So this is what I think does more to highlight the lack of attention to the tag team division than, saying oh yeah, we have this again. This is more so a Wyatt Six vehicle, Wyatt Six MFT vehicle than it is anything else.
Yeah, for sure. That's the tag team storyline right now around the championships. Yeah.
That's where why I have it in shake, and I can understand why you have it as a primo, but I'm like, this is why I'm almost kind of also worried about. Obviously, I didn't know about this match until tonight. Obviously, I knew about the women's IC gauntlet match earlier, but this is why I have a little bit of concern about that women's IC gauntlet match. Is I'm like, I don't know about at least the women's IC titles in a better spot than the tag team titles on SmackDown are, but Yeah, this is where I'm like, I'm not that big of a fan of gauntlet matches because A, sometimes they can be predictable, and then B, it's just like this is just kind of getting people out of catering that you just had no reason to book them. No, you had no. You
You
just
had no,
you didn't have anything in the
you didn't have a storyline reason, yeah.
yeah.
But as I said before, I was like, hey, better to be on TV than not. At least we saw him. So,
Yeah. Mids. We both agreed upon on both of them. The Jade and Rhea officially have a promo.
mhm.
Effectively, Rhea basically telling Jade that like my body's built for fighting, your body's built for show, and I'm
He's
gonna
a show
teach
pony, yeah.
you this, that, and the third. Good start. Good start. We'll see how it continues, but so far it was a good start.
And they're
Hopefully we
both
don't.
that bitch. They're both that bitch. Don't forget
Yeah,
that.
and hopefully we don't get anything like we did with like Charlotte and Tiffany last year, where like you know they start throwing like real personal jabs. But because I think there is something to, I think they could do a good. I think there could be a good feud, a building of a feud here. To get us to WrestleMania, where like it does feel like this should be one of the matches that you should be looking out for when we get to Mania. But yeah, I would say it's a good initial start. They've
Yeah.
done a good job so far in the week span of Rhea winning Chamber to the tweets to this promo battle. It's a good start. We'll see how it continues.
Yeah, I agree. It was just about those quotes. I'm that
Yeah.
bitch. And yeah, you're a show pony, whatever. That's effectively what she said.
Do you agree with her
And also,
statement that Jade's body is not really functional?
no,
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I believe
Okay.
she's as powerful as she looks.
Okay.
I think she could get, I don't know if she can, nobody's getting Nia Jackson for
agree
shit.
with
So
Rhea either. I don't agree with Rhea either, and I'm just like,
it's a good
yeah,
line, though. It's a good line
it's a
for
good
missing
line.
her, for sure.
Condescending, yeah.
It's like, because you can't say anything to Jay. Like, she's only dominated everybody. Like, when it comes to like in ring, even when she wasn't single, she was still tag team champion. You know
But
what I'm
then
saying? So
the argument is like that's kayfabe. Like Rhea could actually win in a fight, and Jade is just
nobody gives a fuck about that. We're talking about their wrestlers. We're talking about kayfabe.
Again, internet
I'm not
community
making them
is
fight each other for real.
Internet community is fucking full of weirdos, bro. So I'm not saying it's my opinion. I'm just relaying
all those people
information.
then.
Charlotte and Alexa get the win over Julia and Kiana for the tag team women's title #1 contendership. Shout out to Kiana James. She's so far been one of my favorite wrestlers of 2026. She's been really good in the ring. I've really been entertaining. And then she's actually a pretty good also on the mic. She's right now early contender for me as far as like, I don't know if we have this as an Uppie award, but like most improved. Like I'm quickly turned into a fan of Kiana James as a performer. So they didn't get the win. I kind of did but I get it. You got to get Charlotte and Alexa on Mania.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you on that. And not for nothing, we brought that up before when she even just qualified for the Chamber. It was like, she ain't supposed to win that shit. So
she looked great.
Clearly they see something in her.
At the Rumble too. Like she's been killing it. So far, Kiana James has been killing it in 2026, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I agree. Some shake that I got. I guess Johnny Gargano got motivated again.
His wife motivated him, and then
his wife motivated him.
It just so happened to be Obafemi again, just going through the roster.
Yeah. Just tossing around all the guys that he can, and he did talk. He could have thrown him out the ring if he wanted to. Honestly,
he could probably thrown him from the ring into the stands.
Yeah, seriously. Because he did that. I think it was definitely Oba I mentioned the spot before on NXT where they throw people like into the crowd. And the whole crowd is like, oh shit. And it's cool, like Oba is good for that shit. I forget who I think he did that to Ricky. Like Ricky Saints, he threw him in their crowd.
Yeah.
But yeah, went the way we thought it was gonna go.
Johnny did have a Johnny Wrestling shirt on.
Yeah, with the bomb on it and everything. So hopefully we're getting back to it. And then the last thing I had was Randy I mean, just to start the show, the crowd pleasing Randy did at the beginning with Trick. So
Yeah.
just show Randy, he's the most over legend right now. Sing a song. We love Trick song. That's all that was.
Yeah.
Give us an RKO. That's why it's shake.
Walking into RKOs.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, if anything, it was funny, just like his whole reason to come out there. Like, people on the internet been saying I'm not 6'5". Like,
and you standing
I'm like, bro, get offline.
And like, I got my lemon pepper stepper. It's like, no, Trick is
Yeah.
entertaining as hell. I agree. I'm just like, oh, bro, this is like the third time in like a month you've just gotten RKO'd by Randy. So, Trick, I'm gonna need you to get your what ability is that? Awareness?
Yeah, awareness for sure. For sure.
I get it. He's a legend, but come on now. Come on. Now.
You know it's out of nowhere. They're gonna happen anyway. You got to stay out of range of that.
Yeah, he's a viper. He's a viper.
And obviously, the presentation of Trick is great. Just keep him on that rotating disc with the light. Amazing.
He has one of the best
entrances. Yeah, for sure.
In business right now.
Absolutely. And I was gonna mention this before with Jade, but I'm glad we got here now because Trick looked so good at the beginning that I thought it took some of the air out of Jade when she came out because she had on a mink coat too. And I'm like, Trick wears the mink better. He just does. Like, because he's in all white with the mink and then she's in all, lavender. And I'm like, if she would have came out first, then it would have been great. But yeah. And then actually the very last thing I had, couldn't get through this week without a Reggie though. Man, this is tough. That US Open Challenge, Carmelo versus Dr. Wagner Trace.
Yeah.
You didn't put it on there either. Bro, that was rough to watch. As much as we talk about like the US Open Challenge is like that's as close as you get into like the in-ring holy shit like AEW like quality, you know what I'm saying, week to week 5-star. This was rough, dude. Like and I don't want to say obviously, maybe Carmelo speaks Spanish. I doubt it, but he's from Boston. So with the obvious language barrier there, and I don't think Dr. Wagner was just too familiar with like Carmelo's moveset at all. Like as I'm watching the match, I'm having to watch Carmelo like set him up extra. Like where, he kicks him in the back of the leg, trying to chop him down. And he already had one leg on the middle rope because we know he's going for nothing but net. That springboard leg drop he does. And Dr. Wagner isn't putting it up there. So he has to just like lift his leg, put it on there. We're going for the suplex spot, trying to like reverse each other. Neither one of them knows which person is going up. So we just keep on getting that until Carmelo just says fuck it and pulls him down for like a small package pin. It was a lot of this was really, really tough to like just watch. So as rare as it is, a US Open Challenge is this bad, like it happened. So
I saw that in the notes on WWE on Bleacher Report. They were saying that like there was a moment or two where it looked like neither men knew what the next thing
they didn't know the
that they were going
spots.
to do.
It looked like they didn't know the spots of the match.
Yeah.
Or Carmelo did, and I mean, I'm not throwing Dr. Wagner under the bus. Somebody was fucking up. I would obviously think it was Dr. Wagner since he's coming into SmackDown versus Carmelo being here. But that was rough.
That's surprising. Anything else?
That's it for SmackDown. No, that's it for me.
Okay, we got a pop-up show to make predictions for. Points are on the line.
Sure.
Overall season record for the season, I'm 7-6-11. You're 6-7-11, but you still have the overall record lead of 19 wins, 12 losses, 14 ties. 12
That's
wins.
A lot of ties. We're like hockey teams. Like,
but again, the ties.
Hockey teams, you have like 11 ties at the end of the year.
We only had 3 ties last season.
Yeah.
So we have 11. We have 11 right now. But hey, that's where again, sometimes you just gotta go. Like last year, like I said, I admit I believed my own booking too much, and so that's why we're getting a lot of these ties. But I don't know. I think I feel like we should be able to get a winner out of this one.
And there's 2 points I could have if I would have trusted my booking more this year. That's the story of this year. Where I'm like, I didn't trust mine.
Stop listening to me.
But yours is good. I like your ideas. So I'm like, That's better than what I thought. I like that better. I just want that to happen.
First match on the card. Tony D versus Dion Lennox.
Tony D. I mean, I understand you got the Dark State and shit, but honestly, Tony D coming back initially, I was already ready for him to come back, after losing to Obafemi and all that stuff. He had that huge layoff. Comes back and he's like, hey, I only came here for two things, Dark State, and I'll tell you the other thing when I'm done with Dark State. He's at the Dark State leader now. I swear to God, if you stretch out Dark State some more, like, actually, I'm gonna look up the NXT shows because there should be a stand and deliver at Mania, right? So, but either way, right, I'm still picking Tony D.
I think it's like 2 weeks before Mania or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But I agree with you. I'm going Tony D because I'm like, this feels like Tony D is doing what Darby did when he came back and went after the Death Riders.
I'm sorry, say it one more time. Darby Allin.
I said Tony D'Angelo feels like what he's doing to Dark State is what Darby was doing to
the Death Riders. And it felt like it was going kind of along with Darby too with that.
So hopefully we get to this. And I forgot that he said that where he was like, I got two things that I'm telling you why I came back. First is I got to take over. I got to beat down Dark State. The second, I'm going to tell you after. Like, we got to be close to getting to the after. And honestly, I don't even remember what Dark State even did to Tony D. Because the last thing I remember with Tony D was him fighting with his family.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, well, sure. If you say Dark State did something to you, I'm not going to fault you. You know your life better than I do. So I'm going to believe you on that. But yeah, we got to get.
So you believe white people, but you don't believe kayfabe black people and Jacob Fatu when he tells you that Drew knocked his teeth out. That's all right. I see you. That's that. That's that. They put that Trump putting that white supremacy in you slowly but surely.
I'm brainwashed, right? Yep. NXT Underground match.
All right. This is where I look at this is where I look at the card and I'm like, okay, how does this stack up? Because what is great about this is that you see there's 3 women's matches on here. And I'm also thinking about what makes the crowd happy? Like, what would I have happening? Ugh. I'm gonna go with
Kalani because
Kalani's been up on her the whole time.
But Kalani's also been working with Shayna. As far as, I guess to quote unquote prepare for this match. Shayna is a backstage consultant
producer.
Yeah.
I mean, she's Lola, perfect for this then, because she's actually a real fighter, so yeah. And Lola actually has that background, yeah.
Yeah, and Lola has more experience in this match, so she's been in more of these matches than Kalani obviously has. Part of me wants to go to Kalani because, again, I also do think this is more of just like getting that character aggressionness over with Kalani, where maybe this has more benefit for her. But to your point, we have 2 other women's matches on this card. And right now,
I only got one of those matches solid also in my choice. I think one of those matches is solid between all 3 of these women's matches. Because Jada and Blake, as I said, is a toss-up. Underground, like I said, I want to believe Lola. Because it's like you said, bringing up. But, real life stuff doesn't count, even though she used to be MMA and all that shit. Like, even though they bring it in, it's like just part of her character versus kayfabe, Kaylani can just hit fucking, I don't know. Maybe she just is a quick learner and, Shayna taught her fucking the Kirifuda clutch, right?
Yeah.
That's what she'll end up beating her with. But I'm like, this is where I'm like, where's the bad thing that happens on this? Because I'm going with Lola. I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off. It's a matter of if we're getting to stand and deliver or not. That's the only thing I can think. Are we continuing this feud? Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is getting to stand and it has. I mean, both of them are over. Kaylani can definitely be on stand and deliver, so can Lola. But I don't know. I feel like a very bad case of senioritis for Lola, especially with no titles of any kind at this point. Like where it's like, yo, you gotta win some fucking feuds then, some like major feuds, if you're not gonna hold a title. But Like I said, maybe this feud isn't over. This feud possibly can be over. So I don't know. It feels like an underground is like, hey,
I was gonna go Kalani, but yeah, I'm gonna go agree with you and go Lola.
I think it's like because the underground match is supposed to be take the bells and whistles away, take all your high flying, all that shit is gone. We just scrap it like real fighting. So I'm like, it's got to be Lola.
Yeah, I'll go Lola.
Street fight: Jada Parker versus Blake. Who you got?
I kind of want to go Blake.
It's already in there for me.
Again, but Jada just came back.
She did, but I think this is the one.
Jada feel like she's had the edge on her a little bit.
This is the one where I feel like if any match is getting to stand and deliver for another one, this is the one. So we can go a level up from Street Fight. I don't know what that is, but similarly, Underground match is Lola's match and Street Fight is Jada's match. I'm gonna go Blake and hope that the woman from hell shows up from AEW. But also, like we have been, like you said, even months ago, we were talking about how high they are on Blake just coming to the main roster. So you could just have her like losing. I mean, not right now. I guess that would be after Mania, and then you bring her up after Mania.
But said that she's not in a rush to go to the main roster and wants to spend more time in NXT. And again, she hasn't held the main title, has she? No,
she hasn't. Only the North American.
Yeah. I think this is only round one between them. So
I still got Jada winning. So
I'll go Blake as well. Maybe I think she might bleed, and you might again see some aggression from her. That
I hope Blake bleeds. I know she's begging them backstage. She's like, "Please let me blade just one time." I won't even do it that deep. I promise.
That takes us to the NXT Women's North American Championship. Izzy Dane, Tatum Paxley. Is Tatum
This is the one that I'm solid. This is the one that I'm solid on. I think Tatum's winning this, and that's because, she is part of the culling, but and the guys have been interfering. I would like to imagine in this match, Shawn Spears comes down for the interference, or like they are there for the interference spot, but they get caught this time. You know what I'm saying? They get ejected. So. But once again, Mania, like WrestleMania season. So, like I said, you gotta shake which one of these is gonna, actually be featured going forward in the next month, like a month from now. Are we gonna see Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame again? I don't know about that because I like Izzy Dame. I do. Like I would say, especially as far as like you were mentioning, like how Kiana James has come up. I would have very similarly Izzy Dame. Since winning the North American title, I've been like, okay, I'm all with Izzy Dame for sure. So she would be like second in that same like most improved. So that, I mean, even just that gives me credence where it's like, okay, cool. She could just retain. That's very believable. If there is going to be a winner, it's going to happen right here because obviously we have everything matching, and you would pick Izzy. That's believable because I know we both picking Joe Hendry. Yeah, exactly. Because we both go in Joe. It's obvious. So
is it obvious?
Yes, it is. Or it's not. Pick Ricky. Please pick Ricky. Dumbass.
Joe just won it. This is like his first defense, right?
Yep. Or a second. I think he defended it on TV once, I feel like. Who did he defend against? Maybe I'm making that up.
I think Joe should be been on the main roster by now. I don't know what he's still doing.
He's so over. He's so over, dude. Like that's a walking U.S. champion right there.
And that's
for sure.
That's the main reason why I want to pick Ricky.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's where I'm like,
hey, so this will be 3-2-5-0.
I'm going Ricky.
Some way. All right. At least we got some interesting stuff up here. Well, that's cool.
I'm going Ricky. I'm like, Joe don't need to be on. Like, the way we talk about, like, Lola or, like, some of these people that have been on, I'm like, Joe don't need to be here.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. Even, like, Ricky, I think the thing is with both of them is that, like, because we know they just went through a whole, now this is NXT 4.0, actually. Because we had the original contest, then the black and gold, then the rainbow, and now we're at this new one, which is incorporating Evolve and like TNA and stuff like that. So We got
They
a huge
mentioned
reshuffling
they
happening.
mentioned on Masked Man, they were like, Evolve is like high school and NXT is like college.
Yeah, sure.
And,
Definitely.
you know, the main roster is professional, you know.
And then TNA is community college. You're getting your associates over there, probably. Like while you're working at,
That's a little disrespectful, but sure.
An auto body shop. Everybody gotta get it. Everybody can't go to a 4-year university, you know what I'm saying? But let's get to our champions of the week. You got 2, so I'll let you go with at least one of yours first.
Yeah.
Because mine is good. Mine is I was trying to think of some more. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, both of them are pretty quick. First one, this is not the best reference, but this is like the one that came to me. But like I call it the Commissioner Gordon talking to Batman title. To JD McDonough. This goes back to when Downhausen was talking to Judgment Day, and he like cursed Dominic, and then like Dominic turns to talk to JD and Finn, and the camera kind of pans away from Downhausen, and then when Dominic turns back around, Danhausen is gone, and JD just makes this quick comment that says like, "Man, he's like Batman."
Oh yeah, okay.
And I got a good laugh out of that. So I could probably come up with a better reference, but I was like, "Yo, that's Commissioner Gordon," or like, you know, just him throwing up the bat signal, having that conversation with Batman, and then all of a sudden, like, he turns around, like Batman's gone. And it's like, okay,
yeah. Like you said, with the internet community like raging out about like the Elimination Chamber entrance, like this was still a very good intro week for him, because even pulling the exact same thing with Miz on SmackDown.
Yeah, we didn't even mention, he's not gonna be working.
Was the time to mention it? Yeah, and he's like, I need a guy I can mentor for my 3 core values. What is it? Mastery, initiative, and zoning in. And then you get Danhausen showing up, and also with another list of demand housings for Nick Aldis. Or actually, it was Miz this time. He's like, I want Hall of Fame induction, I want my own TV show, and I want a U.S. title, or a title of anything you can give me. I'm not giving you any of that. Yes, you are, because if you don't, you are cursed. It's like, hey, remember what happened to Dom? And it's like, yes, we know what happened to Dom.
That's why he's like, oh, don't want to mess around. Like, that's how you get that over.
And you see Miz, he thinks about it when he said that. He was like, oh yeah, Dom did lose his title this week. Yeah.
You want to go with yours, or you want me to go with mine?
Yeah, I'll go with mine, because this is not from a show, not from media or anything. This is from, I was just catching up with some family, and I ripped this from her. This is the cousin Danielle. I don't trust him. He's one of those bleeding heart libs that doesn't trust black people. So I don't trust him. Going to Sami Zayn. For Sami Zayn continuing this hate tour that he's been on, and I know this is a long extension because we had the CGI like rendering of Cody as Raheem Rhodes. So not trusting that segment of him being like, how come you get an opportunity? How come, the chamber happens for a reason? And then Cody's like, yo, what do you want? Like, what did you want this to be right now? And Sammy's like, I actually came here to say good luck. No, you didn't. Like, that shit is eating you up inside, Sammy. So there's part of me where I'm like, hey, it's a month out. Maybe Sammy costs him. Maybe Sammy costs him, or maybe I
hope so, because this is ridiculous. That
he's been hating on Jacob. Like, he hating for real.
Yeah, but again, specifically as in regards to Cody, like, that's BS that he got a title shot.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah, of course.
That is BS.
But hey, it's still hate. Hey, don't be hating me because our boss man said I get a title shot. I didn't ask for the title shot. He just gave it to me. So hey, I can't help that I'm the prodigal son.
Boy, we get it.
Exactly. I can't help that I'm the golden boy. Yo, like Trick said, hey, Sammy come out every week. He ain't comb his hair. His breath smell like 10 pounds of bounce that ass. Why should anybody be looking over here at your ass? The only people holding Sammy up is us at this point. That's real shit. Like, maybe I would like to think, because they know Sammy's a major character, maybe it's a year-long like Cena type thing. Turns heel, realizes it's the bad way to go. Then he wins the title at Mania. WrestleMania 43. There you go. But that's my champion of the week. Shout out to my cousin Danielle.
Shout out. My last one, and this takes us back to Dynamite between the MJF, Kevin Knight, and we talked about it. But I call this the Pokemon not very effective, critical damage attack. You know that sound when you like did something that was like, oh, you did a water attack to like a grass Pokemon, but like your Pokemon is like level 100 and that Pokemon is like level 5, and so like it still works.
It's
And
still a
hear that,
critical
like,
hit.
yeah, it's like not very effective, but then his life bar goes all the way down to the end. That's what happened to the ref in that match.
Yeah. Yep, like
On that shit,
HP.
because I'm like, how does this ref end up getting? He throws himself into the ropes, obviously, and then he's like, "Oh, my neck." I'm like, bro, you literally just like you did that to yourself. You didn't even kick you that hard to even like injure you like that. Like what? And then all of a sudden, then Kevin Knight gets the pin. This dude is doing the Earl Hebner.
Love it. I love it. Bryce, his name is,
no. Why are
he
you
is
that
the
knocked
second.
out? Why are you that
he
knocked
is
out?
the-
But then that goes to your point. This is 1 HP referees here, where
Yeah.
it's like he barely did anything to you, but you
Mhm.
trying to sell that shit like it was like it was death out here. So
Yeah.
that's the Pokemon. Not very critical. Not you get the quote. You get the message after you do the attack, and you hear the sound effect where it's like
Mhm.
it's not like that. It's like the kind of muddled sound, and it's
Yeah.
like it says not very effective, but then the life bar goes from 100% health down to like a blinking 1%.
Yeah.
That goes to that ref in that match.
Yeah, that's Bryce Remsburg, in my opinion. Like, I mean, he is the best theatrical ref in all of wrestling right now. Like, he's the one that was the ref during the Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan.
Okay,
It's like that's him. Like, you know, he's just great with
I
that.
would say
Even
the way
the
he fell
dramatic.
into that rope, I'm like, you threw yourself into that rope, and because naturally you just like would have just leaned out the middle of the rope. Like there wasn't no need for you to like throw yourself into getting your neck rung by the middle rope. I was like, bro, what? And then the slow ass count. Kevin Knight should have won that.
Yeah, because they counted, like the crowd was counting. They were up to like 8 before he even dropped the first 1 count. Oh, let me get my momentum.
And then the slow
2.
ass one. Oh, like
I love
get the
that.
fuck out of here.
The weak ref count is at least A tier. I mean, when he does, it's S tier. But that's it for me. You got anything else? I'm gonna tell them to follow us.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, follow us here on this YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Join us on episode 88. You got a quick 88? That's an easy number. Des?
That's everybody. That's Des.
That's everybody.
That's PD.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch.
That's a bunch of other receivers as well as 88.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Irving. A bunch of Cowboys, basically.
Yeah. But join us next week on the Wrestling Re-Up. Peace, y'all.
Peace.